Once again, good Friday evening to you. Brian Oakland joined by Sean Lewis tonight, and we are live video streaming with the help of Caleb Brozick from Live Ticket. You can watch this game at drgnews.com and the River 92.7 page, also on the River 92.7 page of your DRG News smartphone app, or you can go through gogovs.live as well. William Wilson will run our show audio-wise in our DRG Media Group World Headquarters, River 92.7 studio. A much drier night for the Governors to play tonight. Obviously, last Friday we had that 2-hour plus rain delay with lightning. Didn't kick off till 9:15 p.m. tonight, albeit for still summertime dates in the first weekend of September. It is quite chilly. Temperatures at game time are going to be in the 50s, and it could cool off into the 40s before we're all said and done. But still, Sean Lewis, it's football weather tonight. A lot drier and, going to have a good game for the Governors to take on an old rival in the Huron Tigers tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun night. I know it's kind of fall weather already, which snuck up on us a little early, but I think we're here. It's a whole lot better weather than last week, so I think everybody's looking forward to it.
The breeze is picking up a little bit. We hope it dies down later on. We're trying to stay out of it as best we can, but the sun is shining right now as we get set for this one. Pier and Hiron. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. We'll get into our pregame show. The pregame is brought to you by Bank West. It's Bank West for the best. And in that pregame show, we'll take a look around South Dakota, the states of 11AA football. We'll look at the early standings, the schedules, and more of a preview of tonight's action and things like that, along with coaches' conversations, keys to success. We've got your starting lineups and a whole lot more coming up in our Bank West pregame show as we welcome you to our coverage of Governor football. Your official voice of the Govs is River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
There when you need them the most. Bank West insurance agents Sam Kennecke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pier. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department,
Superior
Beck Motor
Concrete is
Company
proud
is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Visit us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an and their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pier at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pier is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pier. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pier, 605-224-7378.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archived video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app.
Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. We get you ready for Governor football in Huron. And the Governors coming in 1-0, and tonight maybe a night when it's a little bit drier, even though there is a bit of a breeze. We might see the Governors try to get that offense flowing. What they couldn't do last week was throw the football, and I'm sure as we talk with Coach Steele in a little while, he will make mention of things like that. We'll see what kind of offense the Governors can put out there, which might be a little more as expected. Before we get to that, we advise all of those on the road for high school sports season or whatever the purpose. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being a part of a team, and they remind us all to slow the drive, arrive alive. You've got someplace to be. Reminder from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, and don't forget to buckle up every trip, every time as well. Well, again, a little bit of a scene setter. Governors beating Aberdeen Central just 9-6 last week. It took a 96-yard touchdown pass from Caleb Lounsbury to Carter Shufflebine and a 30-yard field goal by Logan Whitty. That's all the offense the Governors could put on the board, and a smaller line on both sides really did a great job in getting leverage against a much bigger line from Aberdeen Central. The 9-0 lead by the Governors was trimmed to 9-6 with a 1-yard touchdown, but a long drive by the Golden Eagles in the late third and early fourth quarters helped them close that gap. But still, the Governor defense stood their ground, and they start the season with 1 win. And again, we should see the Governors trying to throw the football a lot more than what they were capable of doing last week in all that wetness and moisture. Meanwhile, for Huron, they didn't have any rain delays here last week. They played the Yankton Bucks, who are once again figuring to be one of the top teams in Class 11 AA. It was a 24-21 lead, I believe, for Huron at halftime, but some things went against them. Yankton played a little bit better, probably made the defensive adjustments needed, and according to head coach Drew Strand, Huron had some issues with penalties and bad times for penalties that gave them more unfavorable situations and down in distance. But Huron still able to make plays, and we'll see what they can do against the Governors. They, like Pier, probably going to want to throw the football. They've got a very good quarterback who's stepping in to fill a role. Left by a graduated senior, and I think that's what they saw. Coach Sean Lewis, I don't know if you saw Huron last week, but from what I heard, they do want to throw the football. They'll use the short pass a little bit more, try to use that to set up maybe getting things going in a longer route running instance, but still going to be a lot of balls in the air tonight, it seems.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look to get things on the perimeter, get the ball out quick, just kind of get him. What you want to do with the quarterback, especially one that's just getting his first couple starts, you just want to get him a bunch of easy throws right away. So you get him in the screen game, you turn the screen game, hopefully into getting people to bite up, and then you take your shots over the top. But eventually it's just getting your quarterback in rhythm, getting those short passes, and like I said, they didn't really rely on their offensive line a ton last week, and I don't think that they're going to do it a ton this week, but they're going to get those guys in pass protection. I think they're going to try and make it a track meet on the edges.
Yeah, short passes and get the ball out of the quarterback's hands as quickly as you can. That's probably something we'll expect from the Tigers tonight. And again, we'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at the schedule of games tonight. First of all, the standings. 5 teams won their first games of the season, including Pier, including Yankton, who won here in Huron 41-24. T-Area got a win over Spearfish. Sturgis upended Brookings 26-21, and Mitchell had an easy win out at Douglas a week ago. So Aberdeen Central, who lost at Pier, Brookings, Huron, Watertown, who lost to Sioux Falls Jefferson out of 11 AAA, Spearfish and Douglas. Those are the teams that are 0-1, and once again it's Mitchell, Sturgis, T-Area, Yankton, and Pier at 1-0 to start the season. The schedule of games coming up for tonight looks something like this, with the Governors here in Huron. Watertown is playing at Yankton, T-Area up at Aberdeen. That should be a pretty good one. Sturgis plays at Douglas out west, and Spearfish will play at Rapid City Central, the 1-11 AA versus 11 AAA game for the weekend. Tomorrow in the Colonel Bowl, the Mitchell Colonels will host the Brookings Bobcats. Other games going on in 11 AAA. In fact, Rapid City Central at Spearfish is the only Spearfish at Rapid City Central. That's the only game featuring an 11 AAA team tonight. The rest of the schedule is in the Metro tomorrow. 3 games at Howard Wood Field, part of their annual President's Bowl festivities. It'll be O'Gorman against Sioux Falls Lincoln at 12 noon. Later afternoon, it is Harrisburg at Sioux Falls Washington, and then Sioux Falls Jefferson against Sioux Falls Roosevelt in the nightcap. Meanwhile, Rapid City Stevens will go across the state to Brandon Valley and play at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Other games going on in Central South Dakota, including our KGFX game, as the Stanley County Buffaloes hosting their second game on their all-new field and setup. They take on the Leola Frederick area Titans, and Justin Cowart will have that game on KGFX AM this evening. On KPLO, Chamberlain has a matchup against St. Thomas More. Star 99, it's Mobridge Pollock against Miller Highmore Herald in the what we like to call the Big Dakota Conference. And on KMLO up north, it's Timberlake at North Central. Other games in the central part of the state, Phillip hosts Bennett County, Kadoka area goes to Wall, Gettysburg hosting Lemon McIntosh, and Falkton up north going to Harriet Selby area. It's a pretty light schedule in Central South Dakota among area teams. A lot of teams on a bye here in week 2. So that's the state of 11 AA football in Central South Dakota football as well. We'll take another 3-minute timeout. Coming up next, it'll be our Keys to Success. They're brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care. We'll start with a chat with Steve Steele, the head coach of the Pier Governors, as our Governor coverage continues. Your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pier School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pier, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Watching high school sports or find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. $20 per hour. 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pier Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
All right, week 2 for the Pier Governors, and keys to success with head coach Steve Steele about a season opening win, coach, against Aberdeen Central. And obviously it was a memorable night to start the season with the weather and everything with that. But, a 9-6 win, that's great. I think the weather and the elements are the great equalizer in this case, and Aberdeen's going to be a fine football team, I think. But what are the things that you got out of that game that you're happy with? What things still are you a little bit concerned about right off the bat?
Yeah, I think the two most important things was our kids were adaptable. We had to adjust a lot of things in hours, in our hours between, rain delay and we're going to play. So they had to be very adaptable, and they were. And then they were gritty in performing and figuring out a way to get something done when it's not the way that we want it. Obviously, it was not ideal conditions for us to run our offense. We were very limited in what we were able to do. And special teams became very important, and our special teams did a great job of executing in what otherwise was very stressful situations. So I think the positives where we learned that we can do those hard things, and being adaptable is a very, very priceless gift. So I was very proud of our team from those respects. And in terms of growth, we've still got a lot of growth we can have all over the place. We've definitely got to shore up a couple coverage things this week. We could be a little bit better up front on both sides of the ball, gap-wise, defensively, offensively, going in the right direction. I think our first few steps as an offense, every position were tough. I think we kind of babied them because of the weather, but at the same point, we still got to make sure our feet are going the right direction to be able to get the right hats to the right hats.
We talked a lot last week about the matchup between your athleticism, even though smaller, against their bigger linemen, and I thought the kids on the lines did a great job.
They did, and that was another very proud moment for our staff, was just to see the fight with the kids. Especially in the weather, it's really hard. It's a lot easier for bigger people to hold their spot, in a mud bowl.
Hard to get leverage when you're slipping, right?
Yeah, because you can't really extend too far out past your feet. So, it was tough, but the guys did a really good job fighting and, again, finding a way ultimately to get it done.
And he gave up just one big long pass play, but withstood, and obviously you're looking ahead now to a Huron team that I think was surprising some people in the first half against Yankton last week. What did you see in their performance against the Bucks that'll be concerning this week?
Yeah, offensively they've got a really good passing attack. They did a lot of things that gave Yankton some fits. Yankton really struggled against a couple passing concepts, so we've got to be very good at defending those. They're challenging concepts to defend. And it's tough with how their quarterback does a good job getting rid of the ball quick. Yankton's first answer was pressure, and he still was able to beat the pressure and getting it out. So that can't be our only answer. So we've got to troubleshoot that end on there against their offense. And then Huron's defense does a really good job if they can get you off schedule. If they can get you into that 3rd and long, they can drop 8 people into coverage and just kind of dare you to throw the ball, because you're going to be throwing to a covered person regardless if they're dropping that many people. So being able to stay on schedule hopefully keeps them in their base defense, and then allows us to stay in our play calls that we want to be in.
Did you see big adjustments in from Yankton? As I think they pitched a shutout in the second half, didn't they?
Yeah, the second half they did some things, and I'll say that some of the passing game that Hiron has, their lower percentage throws, so they can be, home runs or incompletes or interceptions. There were more home runs in the first half. They were more incompletes in the second half. And their run game, they did really shut down their run game in the second half. They had enough balance early in the first half, Huron did, on offense, that they were able to keep enough Yankton people up to be able to throw the ball with success, where in the second half they were not able to run the ball with success. Huron on defense in the second half, Yankton did a great job staying on schedule, which again I think that's the theme of the game against Huron, is you've got to be able to stay on schedule so that they can't bail everybody into those areas and make it tough to throw.
Okay. Other keys to success against the Tigers then?
No, I think defend the pass and stay on schedule. Those are going to be the 2 keys.
Get your offense going too,
the
way you want it to.
Yeah, we've got to stay on schedule. If we can stay on schedule, we'll be able to use everything. When you get into those long situations, that's where they really limit you on what you're able to do.
All right, Coach, appreciate it. Good luck, all right?
Thank you.
Steve Steele with his coach's comments and keys to success from the Pier Governor's standpoint. They're brought to you in our broadcast by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pier. We'll step aside, hear from Central Dakota Eye Care, and then we speak with Drew Strand, the head coach of the home team tonight, the Huron Tigers, as our keys to success continue. This is Governor Football.
Did you know 16 million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pier. Better vision for a great life.
All right, our keys to success continue with Drew Strand, the head coach of the Huron Tigers. Coach Strand, your second straight home game to start the season coming up, and from the looks of things, when you played Yankton last week, a really good start in that first half, scoring points, and unfortunately they got the better end of you in the second half. But what are the big positives you took out of that first game last week?
Yep, I mean, last week against Yankton, I thought our guys showed great effort, great attitude. They came out, and they knew kind of our expectations on that end of it, and they just got to continue to grow on that and just can't have as many mental mistakes on penalty-wise for us. Okay, and I think I look at the guys that are coming back, and I like the names. I see a lot of basketball names. I know they're good athletes, and putting good athletes on the football field is a good start, and especially with the kids that you do have coming back. Yep, we got a lot of returners from last year, only replacing a couple and then just moving a couple guys around, Anderson Porsche moving from wide receiver to quarterback, and just kind of fitting guys in, but a lot of them have experience, and then being able to, this might be the first year I've started a freshman on our offense. So I've been in Huron for 9 years, and so it's nice to be able to put a guy of that caliber and that size on the field right away and just be able to, kind of command more from our leaders here of having more years of experience. So early on, good offense last week, but, the defense, I guess, it's still a good Yankton team, and it's tough to keep them out of the end zone too, isn't it? Yep, I mean, I thought we did a great job, at times, our offense just kind of, the second half definitely just one too many 3-and-outs, we gave them the ball back on short field at times of just having 3-and-outs or interceptions from a guy that's played quarterback for his first varsity game start, and so just kind of got to clean up those things, but Yankton, they play fast, and that's kind of caught us a little bit in the second half of our guys kind of wearing down with how fast they kind of played and just coaching mishaps with trying to sub guys in when they were moving fast, and we just kind of got to use our timeouts a little more wisely on situations like that to be able to get fresh guys in. Anderson Porsche at the quarterback, I mean, he's a kid I've been really impressed with the last few years, especially on that basketball court, but big kid, stands in that pocket. I'm sure eventually as he progresses through his reads, he's gonna really be able to see the field well, I imagine. Yep, I mean, I think he's progressed a lot. He's one of the kids who is a leader on our team. He shows up in the offseason all year round. He's the one calling the guys to throw the football, when we don't have anything going on. So definitely the type of leader you want to have back there, and excited to see what he grows into. Definitely a little struggle of seeing his reads and kind of seeing those guys, but he just continues to work with them and grows with them to trust. But he's definitely going to be I'm excited to see how he grows and excited to see how he grows with his brother as our starting tight end here, with Carter being a freshman and, just as big or if not bigger than Anderson. But those two together, they do a good job of holding each other accountable, and then the seniors kind of jump on them both when they need to, and so excited to see where they can take us. Absolutely. All right, Pier Governor's coming to your place this weekend. Obviously it's Pier, even though they had their struggles, but it was wet and muddy, and that's kind of a big equalizer when they took on Aberdeen. What'd you see from them, and what concerns you in this game Friday? Definitely a tough game to watch, just because of the situation of the game and being so muddy, but we can take out of where they want to line up, who they want to get the ball to, especially in situations like that. I don't know a lot of teams that are trying to spread the ball around. You kind of have to go to your guys and your dudes that are gonna make it happen in situations like that. So they got a lot of dudes that, they can give the ball to, so it'll be a little bit different and struggling trying to figure that out game time when the situation's different. But definitely saw kind of just how they want to line up and where they want to be at and where they're comfortable. And so hopefully, we can find situations where we can make them uncomfortable.
All right. To make that happen, your overall keys to success, what do you got?
Keys for us, are just continuing our offense and not have 3 and outs, and then got to cut back on our penalties. Last week we had 9 penalties that were either false starts or offside. So, I think our guys got to do a better job of that. And our word for the week is just accountability and holding everybody accountable, whether you're a sub or a starter. And just when your time's called, you got to be ready to go, and you got to give maximum effort for the guys around you.
Yeah, it's not the severity of the penalties, it's the timing of the penalties, right?
Correct. Yep. There's situations where all of a sudden, our offense couldn't get past that, ahead of the sticks. And those are the situations where we're in a situation to either, extend the lead or come back on the lead. And, it's just those situational penalties really hurt us at times. And we got to figure out how to hold ourselves accountable to not let those things happen.
All right. Coach, appreciate your time as always. Good luck on Friday, all right?
You as well, thanks.
Thank you. And that's Drew Strand, the head coach of the Huron Tigers. We thank him for his time, his comments, his keys to success that are sponsored by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pier. The lineups are being announced on the field. Let's give you our other alignment, the naming of today's game officials. They're the law on the field, and we thank them for doing what is very oftentimes a thankless job in officiating high school sports. Assigned to do this game tonight, referee will be Ed Fegan. The umpire is Jimmy Matarese. The head linesman is David Hunsley. Line judge is Tyler Curry, and the back judge is Craig Failer. Tonight's guys in stripes, they are our law on the field. Thanks, guys, for doing what you do. Ed Fegan, Jimmy Matarese, David Hunsley, Tyler Curry, and Craig Failer, tonight's game officials. We'll take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with our own starting lineups, which will be brought to you by Envirotech in Pier as Governor football inches closer to the opening kick. Coming back with more Pier Governor football.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pier and can build your home in Pier, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pier, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pier School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors, the overhead door company of Pierre, can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
We're back at Tiger Stadium as the coin toss coming up. The Governor's captain's coming out, and we see that they've got the jersey of Aiden Van Balen, who they will be playing all season for. Of course, Aiden losing his life in the summertime in an automobile accident and never out of the hearts. The Pier Governors and, of course, the captains for Huron will be out in the middle of the field as well. As we take a look at our starting lineups brought to you in our Bank West pregame by the folks at Envirotech in Pier. Governors led by Caleb Lounsbury, the senior quarterback, the halfback, H-back, Kia Duchesneau, the senior in the backfield. 3 wideouts, including Carter Shufflebein, who had the big grab last week at 96 yards. He's a junior. Senior Lincoln Dilgis and sophomore Jaron Deal looking to get into the mix tonight, along with standout junior tight end Cooper Terwilliger. On the offensive line, senior Colton Cass, junior Max Schmitz, Bryson Wallman in the middle, the center. He's a junior. Max Bogenhagen at a tackle spot, a guard spot rather, and Tucker Ott at the tackle on the outside for the Pier Governors. Defensively, the nose tackle for the Govs is sophomore Lathan Rounds. Defensive tackles are Max Bogenhagen and Max Schmitz, who will start in place of Johnny Sharon, who is unable to go tonight. Linebackers on the outside, seniors Hudson Schaefer and Lincoln Schoenhardt. In the middle, it'll be junior Sam Larson, sophomore Will Eilers. In the defensive backfield, Logan Whitty, who had a big game last week, is a junior. Aiden Beam is a senior cornerback, and then Porter Hunsley, the strong safety, sophomore, and Sutton Sonnenschein, the junior free safety for the Pier Governors. And head coach Steve Steele, assisted by coaches Magic, Nye, Heggie, Spoor, Slice, Schleck, and Trow. Along with the Huron Tiger starters, brought to you by Envirotech. Anderson Porish leads the way, the junior quarterback. He's 6'6", 210, big guy, can see over the top of a lot of people. Landon Holst is a senior running back at 195 pounds. They'll bring 3 wideouts as well. Seniors Riley Winiger and Mason Juergens, along with James Schultz Jr., a junior wideout. On the line, center is Charlie Martin, a senior, just 175 though. Jackson Greenfield and Corden Cottle are the guards. Left and right, Reagan Dirksen and Nolan Stolley line up as tackles, and then a tight end is the big freshman Carter Porish at 230 pounds, and he goes 6'5" as well. Defensively, it'll be Corden Cottle on the nose. It's Charlie Martin and Cooper Bischoff on the defensive ends. Oakley Anderson and company also on the defensive side, but you know what? We're underway. The opening kick brought to you by Comtech, and Huron will take it from about their 7-yard line up the outside. Landon Hulst across the 35, and he'll be pulled down at about the 37-yard line. So Huron will start first and foremost. We'll hear from Comtech in a little while. And we'll also remind you to keep listening for our Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight plays throughout our broadcast. Rounds Financial Services, where your money works for you. Osaic Wealth Member SIPC. So Huron will start on the far hash mark, and they'll move from right to left. They're going into a northerly breeze as we are underway. Brian Oakland joined by Sean Lewis. And, Coach, I know we're looking forward to good things here tonight. We talk about a lot of passes we expect, and we'll just see what happens here on first down. But it's Anderson Porish running straight up the gut. Far hash mark, he crosses the 40 to the 45-yard line, so a good start for Huron on the ground.
Yeah, it's definitely a formation that we're going to see a lot of, that trips open. They're going to get the other Porish isolated on the backside with the trips, and now they're just trying to add another element with their quarterback pulling it down and running it. So you gotta be aware of that as well.
Porish, we've seen on the basketball court, and he's a junior. He's been playing varsity ball for 2, maybe 3 years, even since the 8th grade year, and a good athlete. Play action, but there's nobody there. Maybe that was a deke, but Porish still has it across the 50-yard line. Came around the left end, cuts up the middle of the field into Pier territory, and he's inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Was that just a kind of a look or a broken play turned into something spectacular here?
No, that was probably a broken play. A little misalignment by their running back. Quarterback turned to go hand it off. He was actually up in the hip pocket of their tackle, and just the awareness of an athlete to pull it down and do your thing.
And so far in 2 plays, the Tiger offensive line certainly doing their job. They'll spread it out. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 far side. Landon Hulst is in the right spot this time. He breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, cuts to the right side. He'll make his way to about the 41-yard line. This will be a gain of 3, but those first 2 plays for Porish went 8 and 9 yards to pick up a first down. Hulst's first run here, good for, they'll give him 4, straight up to the 40, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, you've seen a couple run plays here, 3 in a row, and that's just them trying to keep probably Pier off balance where they thought they were going to come in and sling it around right away. Eventually, you know, they're going to get a few things and then settle into their original game plan, but trying to exploit probably the opposite end of what Pier expected to start the game.
Ball just to the right side of the middle of the field, and a little swing pass out here near side. Pass is caught. It's Mason Juergens who spins out of a Porter Hunsley tackle attempt, and he'll make his way inside the 35. First down gain, I believe, and they'll move the chains on the far side, and they're spotting this one at the 31-yard line. You know, Coach Drew Strand, he knows that Coach Steele sees what they did passing-wise on offense last week, and I think that's the whole thing. The whole concept right now is to keep the Governors guessing.
Yeah, keep us guessing. I mean, really, as far as last week's game against Aberdeen, I mean, we really didn't learn anything about the Govs. And so, you know, now we're going to get to see a bunch of different formations and see how they handle a little bit of more actual football, and we'll know a whole lot more here after the end of these 4 quarters.
Porish rolling to the right, this time to the wide side of the field, far side against, throwing with his arm, but he had nowhere to go, and he just dumps it out of bounds, throwing it away. That's the first time the Governors have really made a stop so far here tonight. And 5 plays in, the Huron Tigers have gone from their own 37 to the Pier 31-yard line. 9:53 to play. First quarter, we're just underway. This is the first possession of the game after the Comtech opening kick by the Governors. And they used the wind with themselves, but Huron had a nice return. By the way, Comtech, Communication Electronic Services on the lower truck bypass in Pier. 2nd and 10, Porish throwing, timing pattern, far side. This one is tipped. And it is incomplete as the ball falls into the black and orange end zone. At first, I thought the Governors might have come down with that one, but it'll be a long, incomplete pass. And as Coach Steve Steele mentioned there, Coach Lewis is one of those home run balls that were hitting in the first half for the Tigers last week, but not so much in the second half, not so much this time around.
Yeah, we had 3 defenders there. I mean, you saw the outside linebacker run with the inside route, the corner run with the outside route, and then you had the safety up over the top. Outside of just a good catch and throw, that's numbers in our favor the whole time. So if they're going to take that pass, I think defensively we'll take that most.
And that ball was thrown into a breeze out of the north. It's probably 10 to 15 consistent. Gusts are supposed to be up to 20. They're throwing again, and a man is open underneath, but a great breakup by the Pier defensive backfield down at the 15-yard line. It's Porter Hunsley in that area, and Aiden Beam also.
Yeah, it was a great job of playing the hands. A lot of times you want to get selfish, you want to go after the ball, but as a defender, sometimes you got beat on position. They know the route, you don't. And so when you can then see the ball come in and then attack his hands so we can't bring it into his body, that's exactly the play made.
So the Tigers went 5 plays and progressed to the Pier 31. Now 3 straight incomplete passes for Huron, and they're going to go for it on 4th down and 10 from the Governor 31-yard line. Huron in home orange with the white numbers, black pants, black helmets. Governors are in white on white with the green numbers and helmets. Over the middle, right side, pass is caught at the 10-yard line. It's brother to brother. Porish to Porish, Anderson to Carter. He catches it at the 10-yard line. He is met and then dropped at the 8-yard line. That was a beautifully thrown ball. And this one going to go just inside the 8-yard line for a pickup of 23 plus for the Tigers and a fresh set of downs. They came up with a big play when they needed it, and our first Rounds Financial Service play right on the money. Highlight play here.
Yeah, you had a guy running with him, and 6'5" is just very, very hard to cover, especially when they're coming on over the middle and making that easy kind of throw and catch.
Porish rolling left this time, nobody to throw to. He'll dump it out of bounds once again, and an incomplete pass. This is already 9 plays run for the Tigers. That was a 1st and goal to go play.
We've got some laundry on the field here.
Okay. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage on the left end, so maybe as the Tigers are trying to seal off the edge, the early guess would be a hold, but nope, it's ineligible downfield. And as that play got extended, that certainly makes sense. And the Governors will accept that penalty.
Yeah, he did wonder right away when that play was kind of going off. It did look like a run, and then all of a sudden he saw it wasn't there, kind of pulled up through the ball. So you're thinking maybe there was somebody downfield that probably shouldn't have been because it probably wasn't the play.
So back it up to, let's call it the 12-yard line. And it'll be second down and goal from there. Nope, still first down and goal from the 12. And here's another play that doesn't happen, but it'll be a timeout called by the Huron Tigers. Timeouts in our broadcasts are brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling. Huron wants to make sure they cash in on this one. It's the first drive of the game. Their 9th play coming up from the 12. When we come back after this 60-second timeout, this is Pier Governor football.
Do you have a Titan Machinery Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a Titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit titanmachinery.com/careers to learn more.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Pulling out far side, throws back against the grain, but he throws behind Riley Winiger, his intended receiver, and Winiger slow to get up. Looked like he might have twisted an ankle or something as he reached back for that, but once again, an incomplete pass here, and that will make it second down and goal from the 12-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you what, Coach Lewis, if you're Huron, there's no question you've got to get something, get off to a good start, and they've had such a promising drive, but these incomplete passes, Governors are doing a pretty good job, and who wins out in this opening battle? I guess we'll find out.
It's kind of thing about a good passing game is once you get inside the 20, and I'd even say the 25, you start to run out of that real estate, the room, and it just makes it a whole lot tougher. So it's kind of the point where you need a solid run game. You need another dimension so a person just can't sit and be predictable and, like I said, eventually just run out of space.
Well, a couple of 5-yard penalties. This is a false start on the Tigers, and, deja vu is what they dealt with last week, especially in the second half. Coach Drew Strand in our pregame conversation said they just shot themselves in the foot with penalties too many times, and again, it wasn't the severity of the penalties. It wasn't the 10 and the 15-yard penalty varieties. It's just the little pre-snap penalties, but again, down in distance is becoming a problem here. It's second and goal from the 17 now. Right to left, Porish, quick pass out to the left side, near side, and again it is Mason Juergens, who had a big first down pickup earlier in this possession, slipping out of a tackle at the 13-yard line. He's inside the 10, back down to the 7, and that'll be a pickup of 5, or 10 rather. That's pretty much back where this sequence of downs began.
Yeah, I think Coach Steele referenced it. They are doing some pretty intricate passing concepts. Definitely taking a pre-snap read to see where their matchup is, and then kind of working and going from there. So they're trying to find out, who's got the off coverage, who's got the smaller man, and whether we're in zone or man. They're doing a really good job so far.
Juergens in motion, left to right. Here come the Governor blitz, and Porish able to dump it off. He's got his man inside the 5, turn it toward the pylon. This is a Huron Tiger touchdown. And it's Mason Juergens with his 3rd reception on the possession. Well, Huron almost shot themselves in the foot with a couple of penalties, but in this case, they start this one like they did last week in the season opening game against the Yankton Bucks. 6 on the board for the Tigers on a 7-yard touchdown from Anderson Porish to Mason Juergens.
You know, and of the options they're looking for, I think he's definitely option number one, followed by Porish's brother is kind of option number two if they get a 6'5" on a 5'8" or a 5'10".
Soccer-style kicker, it's Mr. Min. That's his name. He's the PAT place kicker, and he puts one through. So it's 7 to start for the Huron Tigers with 7:41 to go. First quarter, the Govs will get their first crack at it when we come back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pier Governor Football.
Wow, Bill, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Going to be taken by the Governor, deep man at the 11-yard line, and here comes Jaron Deal. Or is that Carter Shufflebine? 1-7, that is Carter Shufflebine. He's coming straight up the near hash mark across the 25 to the 30. Decent field position for the Governors as they'll have it at their own 33-yard line.
And now you're going to get to see what Steve Steele's got schemed up here. Get our offense out there. We had kind of the scrum offense out there the entire time last week. So now let's exactly see, what he saw in film and what he's looking to attack right away.
Caleb Lounsbury, the senior quarterback, will come out in the pistol. He's got 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. He'll throw straight out far side, and it's Carter Shufflebine. He slips momentarily, but gathers his footing. He's up across the 40, up the alley, outside the numbers, close to a first down. Riley Winiger will pick him off and drop him just past the 41-yard line, a pickup of 8. And 2nd down and 2. And we certainly expect Lounsbury to be throwing the ball a heck of a lot more than he did last week. I think he threw 15 times and only completed 5. Of course, the big one was 96 yards to Shufflebine, who catches the first down throw here. 2nd and a long 1 for the Govs. Far hash mark. Here comes Ducheneau. Starts right, cuts back to the left. Stiff arms a man at the 45-yard line. And then the Tigers will catch up to him and bring him down to the 47. That's a first down pickup and a gain of 6 for Pier and Kea Ducheneau.
And I think being balanced, come out, 1 pass, 1 run is definitely something that Steve Steele's going to look to do to kind of keep this Huron defense guessing, kind of wear them out a little bit right away, because I think definitely the advantage that we probably have is depth. You kind of saw their lack of depth a little bit in the Yankton game, and I think that's a key concept to try to exploit.
Under 6.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Huron leading 7-0. Ducheneau will take it for the 2nd time. And as he tries to go across the right guard, right tackle, he'll be wrapped up by big 73 Corden Caudell, 255-pound junior off the middle of that defensive line. Ducheneau dropped for 2 this time. It's 2nd and 8 at the Governor's own 49-yard line.
Kind of fun to see a little pull concept, not one that was happening last weekend with the mud and everything. You weren't pulling and trying to, snot bubble anybody. It was just get your feet and go forward. So we're seeing a little creativity right away.
Surveying is Lounsbury. Governor's approaching midfield here. There's the snap. Quick fire. Back to Shufflebine. Has it at the 50. Makes a move to the Huron 45. And close to the 40, but a first down gain. Got an official back. It looked like he fell forward for a first down, but the play is ruled down inside the 45 to the 44 of Huron. That's a gain of 6. And it'll be 3rd down and 1.
And you are seeing similar pass style concepts as, Pierre's pass game so far has tried to get Lounsbury in rhythm. Just a couple, easy screen passes, just seeing where the off receiver is. And, so I wouldn't be surprised if something again happens right here with Jaron Deal with that receiver playing that far off.
far hash mark here for the Govs. They're moving left to right, and they'll pitch, but now a flag is going to be thrown, and it just seemed like it took too long for Rice and Wallman to get that ball snapped, maybe missing the count or the snap cadence here, and the Governors are going to back up 5 with a false start of their own.
Yeah, lots of early season stuff. You're going to see these kind of mistakes. They're high school kids, and didn't really get a chance to get a whole lot cleaned up. I bet the refs last weekend were pretty just lenient with everything with the field conditions, and so they're going to tighten things up, and we just gotta match that.
So it was going to be a running play on 3rd and 1. Now the backfield is empty on 3rd and 6. It's at the Huron 49-yard line. Governor's first possession of the game, but trailing 7-0. Pass, Lounsbury, pump fake. He finds Schuffelbein. He steps back, then turns it upfield on the right seam, and will collect a first down. That was a nice first step by Schuffelbein to create some space, and then he sees the field and advances to the 41-yard line. Pick up 8 this time. The Governors will pick up their second first down.
And that, quads open concept that Steele runs with the 4 receivers one side and then 1 receiver the other side is such a pain in the butt to try and cover defensively, because you got to break a rule. You got to bring a guy over. You got to slide a guy who's not normally in coverage to cover that. And eventually, like I said, you find the matchup. You find an athlete who cuts and gets a seam, and it turns into a big gain.
Ball control here, time-consuming drive already for the Governors. We're under 4 minutes to go in a fast-moving first quarter of play. Trips to the left. This time it's Lounsbury. He'll follow the blockers, patiently waiting for the hole to open up. Then he bursts inside the 40. A modest gain, but a good one on first down nonetheless. He'll have it at the 37, give him 4. First run of the game for Lounsbury, who ran for, by my stat sheet, 76 yards, which is a solid number on the ground. Well, the Governors, who will not expect to be picking up that kind of yardage. Kia Ducheneau had, if I remember right, 30 or 40 yards as well. Of course, that was in different conditions. Now Cooper Terwilliger, keep an eye on him. He's flanked on the right side. He's going to lead the block. This is Ducheneau up the middle as Terwilliger. We saw him seal that left edge. Ducheneau dives inside the 35, now to the 33, and 4 more this time to make it 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, very good push by that offensive line. You definitely see them. They're starting to get going. I mean, you see Huron's got a defensive line. They got one real big guy kind of in the middle, and the rest of them are smaller guys. And so it's just being able to get the angles, get the leverage, keep those guys pushed out, and then probably Cooper Terwilliger. Everybody's like, hey, he's big, he catches a lot of balls, but he's very, very underrated. His run blocking is tremendously improved.
Yeah, we just saw it there. Pitch to Ducheneau. He'll have the first down, 30, 25, and then met up with the second line of defense. Landon Hulst, one of the linebackers, eventually runs him down. He is looking good so far here. This is a gain of 8. And I'll tell you what, Coach, Kia Ducheneau, he's not going to break away from anybody if he gets in open space, but he can run, if he's got the legs turning and burning. He'll put a hit on somebody and try to keep moving forward as much as he can.
Yeah, he looks like a real shifty guy, but he lowered his shoulder, barreled forward and got an extra 2 to 3 out of it.
Play action, roll out to the right, and here's our first look at Cooper Terwilliger. Heck of a grab and a short pass. He is wrapped up by Riley Winiger, who makes a good short-handed tackle. Spotted to the 23. It's a short gain of just 2. And it'll be 2nd down and 8, but the first touch of the ball tonight for Cooper Terwilliger.
And you can already see their concept. Put 2 guys on him. Okay, he was definitely double covered, about a foot taller than both of the guys that were covering him. But still, they're going to bracket him. They're going to put multiple guys on it. You see it already in this formation. They're not letting him have any freebies.
Empty backfield, another quick pass out to the left side. This time it's Lincoln Dilges, the senior, as he'll lower his shoulder. He gets inside the 20, first down to the 15, and it continues to the 13 to pick up 10. And for Hiron, who had 3 first downs and a touchdown on their opening drive, here come the Governors now in the red zone at the 13-yard line. It's 1st and 10. They've moved the chains 4 times, and Caleb Lounsbury's 5 out of 5 so far.
Yeah, real methodical so far. You saw that quads open look on the last play. You're seeing it again on this play. And when you got Cooper over there by himself on the open side, the one side, they had 3 guys on him, which numbers game. Somebody's not covered on the other side, so it should turn into a pretty good game.
Look at this formation. 4 receivers flanked to the right. Now empty backfield. It's Lounsbury. He runs over a man. He might have lost the football in the process, though. Huron is celebrating as they fall on it inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Lounsbury was looking to bust through a hole, but it looked like he ran right up the backside of one of his blockers, and it looks like Pierre is going to keep the football here. What a break for the Govs.
Pier keeping the football, and it looks like Corden Caudell, a little knee injury or ankle injury on the play, so they are subbing there at their nose tackle.
Fans in front of us thought the ball came out. I really couldn't tell from here, but now they say it is Huron football. So a promising start for the Governors. It ends in a turnover. Was there a discussion? I was looking on the stat sheet. They had a discussion out there, but then rule it going the other way.
Yeah, they met. I'm not sure exactly. We don't have the greatest vantage point from here. Kind of ruled it going Pier, and then got together, discussed the whole thing and what may have happened, and Huron ball.
A 6-minute and 50-second drive for the Governors. It started at their own 33, ends at the 9 in a fumble lost. First turnover for either team. Huron, who has the 7-0 lead, will take over in their own red zone at the 9. Porish wants to throw. Here's Juergens again. The Governors converge, and a good open field tackle just up to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to take.
Hunsley gets in there for the stop.
And Porter's going to come down. He's going to close the gap quick. But again, when you're playing that kind of off coverage with no other outside linebacker, DN kind of filling up that space, they're going to take that most time and just see where it takes them.
So the clock running. It's down to 20 seconds left here. Quarter number 1. 2 drives took up more than 11 minutes. 2 drives by both teams combined. More than 11 minutes of this opening quarter, and Huron does not have to snap the football. There's about a half-second difference between the game clock and the play clock, so our first quarter will come to an end. We're on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. It's Huron 7 and the Pier Governors nothing. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pier. As we take a 60-second timeout, we'll go to quarter number 2, and we'll go the other direction with the Tigers when we come back. You're listening to Governor Football, your official voice of the Pier Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
First Dakota has been named South Dakota's best in state.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pier, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pier, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pier Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media
Welcome
Group
back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Quarter of play. Brian Oakland along with Sean Lewis, the coach at side. Head wrestling coach for the Govs, a former defensive coordinator. It's good to have a guy like that along. Appreciate it.
I filled in where needed, when needed. That's kind of what I do.
Landon Hulst with a carry on the first play of the quarter. He crosses the 15, gets to the 16. That's a pickup of 6 for Huron.
Yeah, good run there right up the middle, kind of getting exactly what they need, putting them into a 3rd and short versus a 3rd and long. And, now they got a whole lot more options on their call sheet.
3rd and 3 it is. High snap, but Porish pulls it down. He tries to find a seam up the middle and is short of the line to gain. The Governor defense just does the job. He needs 3. He gets 2. And I would imagine the Tigers will still punt it away here on 4th and short. But they're still in their own red zone.
Probably not a place inside of the red zone where they want to take this chance. If you're reading your keys, you saw that guard pull right away, probably figured that the quarterback was going to pull that down and run it rather than an actual RPO look. But yeah, good play calling. Just Governors made a tackle.
Governors are slow to get people off the field and exchange personnel, and now they just got caught for likely 12 men on the field.
Yep.
Up here got a timeout. So Steve Steele sees that coming as well. So a timeout is called and gathered and given to the Governors. Another Coca-Cola break in the action. So we're early in the second quarter. Huron still at 4th and 1. They'll punt after this 30-second Coke break. We're coming back with more Pier Governor football.
The official voice of the Pier Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pier Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Quarterback who's playing a heck of a game is also the punter, and I saw in pregame warm-ups, especially kicking in this direction, in which the wind is at his favor. He's got a pretty good boot, but here comes Hiron back out, and it looks like they're going to be going for it. 3 receivers flanked to the near side, the right. Landon Hulst single setback. They've got a receiver left as well. And the Tigers, well, they're trying to freeze play here, it looks like. Mason Juergen's going to go in motion. 10 seconds on the play clock here as we get back at it. And, it looks like Huron's not going to get the Governors to bite. What a bit of irony that is, as Pierre tries that freeze play all the time. Coach Strand, I think, said in that timeout, well, let's see if we can give them a taste of their own medicine a little bit. Timeout taken by the Tigers, still very early in the second quarter, but their second already used. Another 30-second Coca-Cola step aside, and we're back with more Pier Governor football.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Quarterback punting. The possibility of a fake, even if they are at their own 18-yard line. Here's a good kick, high kick, and it sends the Governor return man back all the way to his 30-yard line. Schaffelbein finds an area, though, up to the 40, 45 to the 50, and then hit hard and sent out of bounds right at midfield. Big hit by Ty Kleinsasser, a 205-pound junior. The Governors have a good return, and they will take over right near midfield.
Yeah, very impressive punt by their quarterback. Something I didn't really expect to see him kind of sky that one out. That had a ton of hang time, allowed guys to get down there, and what you thought is Carter wasn't going to have a ton of room to catch, but of course he is slippery, he is athletic, and so when he pulled it down and found a crease, he definitely got going upfield.
I'll be honest with you, unofficially, I've got that as a 52-yard punt, all in the air. But a 16-yard return, now a pitch to the right, and this is Kia Duchino. The Governors did start this drive on the Huron 49-yard line, so never underestimate the importance of a good punt return. 5 yards now makes it 2nd and 5 on that run from Kia Duchino.
Yeah, kind of the only silver lining to that really long drive with no points is it did really flip field position. And so even though they were punting and he had a 52-yard punt, I mean, we're still already across the 50-yard line, so still in kind of control of the ball. And we just got to make sure we come away with points this time.
Duchino slips out of a tackle in the backfield. This time spins at the 40-yard line. There's a first down picked up by Kia Duchino, who's looking strong so far in this game. His 6th carry, and he's going to be 30-plus yards. They'll spot him this time inside the 40 to the 37, and that's a gain of 7 more.
A little spin, a little tiptoe, and kind of a little grunt at the end to get another yard. I like it. So far, he's been running hard.
So on the far hash mark, 9.5 minutes to go, second quarter, still 7-0 Huron. Governors had a promising drive on their opening opportunity, but fumble lost by Caleb Lounsbury on a running play. Huron took over at their own 9. Here's Duchino again, untouched until he's to the second line of defense. The linebackers meet up, and down goes Duchino, but not till he's got 7 to the 30.
Again, very good line play right there. If you weren't watching, you probably didn't see the quick pin and pull, but that pin and pull happened where the tackle came down and the guard kicked back out and around. And like I said, it was right kind of where Huron was blitzing, and so it needed to happen fast, and that's a quick hitter for some good yardage.
That's 8 yards. 2nd and 2. It's sticking with a hot hand. Ducheneau covering it up. And he'll be right at the line to gain here. Maybe +1. First down Governors as they'll move the chains to the 26.
Yeah, the real positive you're seeing so far, is Pierre is moving the ball. Outside of the one mishap with the fumble, it has been constant marching, gaining yards, nothing real negative, no, knock on wood here, penalties or anything against us, but it's definitely been a methodical march.
The tail of the tape against these lines is very even, I think, across the board. You've got 240s and 250s, but nobody really that much bigger than anybody else. Here comes Terwilliger, and the pass by Lounsbury, even though short, thrown a little bit behind the receiver. Terwilliger tipped it. Fortunately, he tipped it to himself, but he still couldn't haul it in. That's the first incomplete pass by Lounsbury in 6 attempts. High percentage play, still didn't work out, but it's still just 2nd and 10 as the Governors are still on the move.
And just scanning coverages myself, I think what you're going to start to see is I think the Governor coaching staff is starting to see the Dilgis as being left alone most of the time to be able to double cover other guys. And so I think Dilgis is going to be a great option here within the next couple plays.
4 receivers left, and we're looking for Dilgis. He's either far left to the near side or far right. This is a jet sweep, and it's Jaron Deal with his first touch of the season. Deal with speed. And he'll find his way inside the 20 all the way down to the 17. That will be close to another first down, might be a yard short. And I think that's a guy, Coach, that the Governors are just itching to get him some opportunities, get his hands on the ball. He's got real deceiving speed on a football field.
I tell you what, he's just an athlete. I think he's played 3-4 different positions, even for his, he's a sophomore now, last year for his freshman class, even in like 7th and 8th grade football. He's just kind of a do-it-all dolly, whereas you just got to fit him in because he's athletic and you don't know exactly where he fits, but he fits on your football team wherever that you have a need.
And there was a penalty in there. Maybe I didn't see it, but maybe a 5-yard face mask. Thank you. And down to the 12-yard line, the Governors get a little bit of help. The 3rd penalty against the Tigers so far. Here comes Deal in motion again, but now the Governors might take that 5 yards right back. And there's a false start. Flag was thrown on the far side, so maybe it was Shufflebind who got a little antsy. And again, got the 5-yard helper to get a first down, but now they have 5 marked against them, and that makes it 1st and 15.
Well, we'll see if they go back to that same play because I think I was seeing the motion and a formation that was going to make me look like a really smart guy for my prediction just a couple plays ago. But we'll see what Coach Steele's got dialed up.
So far hash mark, once again, 1st and 15 here. He'll stay straight away with Ducheneau. He'll angle to the left, go right to the middle of the field, and cross back inside the 15 to the 13. I'll call it a 4-yard gain here. Coach Sean Lewis, I don't know if you know recent history of Pier Governor football, but you've been a big part of it, and you are a smart guy. That's the general consensus among Pier fans. So
I'm glad the fans
just think so. You know.
Sometimes in my own house, I do not feel like the smartest person in my own four walls.
It's a very subjective control group here. Play action, 2nd and 11, right side, and Lounsbury decides against throwing the football. He'll tuck and run. He'll spin forward with the help of a tackler to maybe a yard, and back to the original line of scrimmage here. The Governors are going to have a situation of 3rd and 10 as they get back to the 12.
Kind of a little maturity there, but also a little hesitation on Lounsbury. Last year he'd have tried to put that thing through the eye of the needle and just get it in there and maybe have something bad happen, especially when you're throwing it over the middle, pulling it down and running it, using his athleticism. He just probably should have done it a hair sooner.
6:20 counting down, 2nd quarter. The Governors trying to get on the board for the first time, trailing 7-0. Lounsbury has time this time, but he's throwing high through the end zone over the top of everybody, just as the Tigers got somebody who broke through to put a little pressure on. Now we'll see what the Govs do, and they are going to bring in the kicking unit, try for 3 from the 12-yard line. I finally found the number. It's Charlie Martin who came in to put pressure on the quarterback. And the Governors are going to attempt What'll amount to a 29-yard field goal, and this is Logan Whitty. It's still Logan Whitty out there. Hit a 30-yarder last week. He's got this one up, and he missed it. Apparently left. A hook from the far hash mark, missed it left, according to the officials. So the scoreboard with 6:07 to go in the second quarter still has Huron leading 7-0. As we'll keep it here, but man, Sean Lewis, 2 promising drives for the Govs, 2 great possessions, both down into the red zone, but they still got nothing to show for it here.
Yeah, eventually you got to come up with something. I mean, I think our time of possession is maybe not quite double, but it's approaching double. I mean, we've had solid control over the ball and moving it, just haven't put it in the end zone, and got to come away with some points there or come back and get a big defensive stop here and put something on the board before half.
I'm sure the Govs and their coaching staff feel that it'll come, but right now it's a touchback. Huron has it at their own 20, and here comes Landon Hulst, and there's a flag thrown at the end of this play. Hulst across the 25. Hit hard as he comes down out of bounds. Whether that's Porter Hunsley or Aiden Beam rather. I don't know if they got him for a horse collar or something.
I don't know. I'm going to wait in here because I thought maybe it was a hold earlier. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
If that was the case and what I saw, and it was just kind of a hard tackle by the Governors taking Hulst down out of bounds, but had that been the case, that would have been a really quickly thrown flag because it was right at about the time of the tackle. So good call there from the coach at side. 10-yard mark off from the spot of the foul, and Huron will have it back at their own 17-yard line. So that's a 7-yard gain for Hulst, but 10 against on the Huron on the 4th Huron penalty of the evening. So it's 1st and 13 in this case. Tigers in orange. Nice night for football as it's turned out to be. Even the wind is dying down. Porish rolling left to the wide side of the field, looking upfield, throws against the grain. Had Juergens against 2 defenders, but the Governors again with a good hands play. Whitty's in the area. Sutton Sonnenschein, the safety out there. Boy, I tell you what, just a great timing play. Maybe Will Eilers even getting in the mix. He was coming away from the play as well, but that's the second time, Coach. Pierre has knocked a pass away from a Huron receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he had a figure like Steele said in the pregame. You want to go with pressure and try and beat it. Well, they were beating that against Yankton, and so instead of coming with a bunch of pressure, you're seeing us drop linebackers, getting into windows and such, which kind of makes you hold your breath a little bit because he does get a clean ball in the air, but we've been on the beneficial half of it the majority of the time.
2nd and 13, again rolling left. Little dump off as Porish has his man Juergens again for the 5th time. Juergens will spin at the 30 and get another yard, good enough for a first down. Will Danberg in on the stop. Just a little dump off, but good enough for 14 yards, and the Tigers have it at the 31-yard line rather.
Yeah, very good patience by Porish. I mean, he ran that one. He strung it out about as long as he could, because if he had to take one more step, he'd have probably been across that line of scrimmage, and also would have kind of gotten his lunch eaten by Schoenhardt as he was pitter-pattering right in front of him.
5 catches, 41 yards, and a 7-yard touchdown for Mason Juergens so far. Inside handoff, this goes to Hulst. He's running a long way to the near side of the field. Stiff arms, but he doesn't really make a lot of progress. The Governors strung that one out nicely. And still, I guess, a good gain. 4 yards, maybe even 5. Well, we'll call it 4 to the 35. One of the linemen for the Governors giving good chase there is number 65, Devin Binger.
Yep. Good chase from the backside, but that's not the lineman that you're probably going to get to that play when it's on here. You need to be able to set an edge, get through, really make him have to bubble that out wider so you can get more flow from your backers.
5:12 as that play went out of bounds as the clock stops. Second quarter, Hulst again up the middle, and he breaks free across the 50-yard line into Governor territory. Credit to the offensive line of the Huron Tigers. This team is playing well so far tonight. They've got it at the Pier 48 and a pickup of 17.
They had that trip stack look on their offensive right and then pulled the majority of those guys all the way back up and lead block through is more of a power look coming from your trips tight look.
5 carries for Landon Hulst, about 38 yards and a good 7-yard average. He gets Double digits on this one, 17. High snap that might disrupt the play a little bit, and there's activity.
Ball out.
Is the ball on the ground? Huron, I see one player, Winiger, saying it's still Huron ball. And this is number 20 with his first carry, Oakley Anderson.
Number 5, Mason Juergens.
Juergens bails him out and falls on the football as if he wasn't playing well enough in this first half already. Nothing there for Oakley Anderson. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as Huron maintains possession with 4:10 to play in the second quarter. 2 possessions for the Governors so far, 2 trips to the red zone, but a fumble lost and a missed field goal are all they've been able to muster this thus far. Now another fumble as it looks like Hulst is back on this one. Big hit this time. And that's 47, Sam Larson, who made the stick this time. Loss on the play.
And now probably a 3rd and decently predictable here, as you know kind of what they're going to do when it's 11 yards. And so what we need to do is just absolutely play good coverage and go from there.
So we'll call it at the 41-yard line. First time a negative play for either team outside of a penalty has been registered. It's 3rd and 11 here. Porish looking for space, and he's got a receiver with space, and this is Winiger making his first grab. All the way down to the 35, make it the 34-yard line. That's another 15-yard connection. 12 passes for the Tigers already, and I'll tell you what, a pretty impressive offense here that Huron is employing, Coach Lewis.
Yeah, they've definitely found their spots in the zone where they're going to move and sit down, and then when they see that their quarterback moves, they've got some pretty good scramble rules to find another spot in the zone where he's able to throw it, and that's the majority of what I've seen so far as a defensive guy.
Porish keeps it himself. We might have another fumble on the field, and this one was like an RPO run-pass option here, but Porish ended up keeping it himself, or the backer didn't take it. And as Porish was getting hit, I think that ball just fell right out of his hands. Unfortunate, he's got the long arms to haul it back in. They'll lose 2, but they still have the football just outside the 36-yard line.
Yeah, they've put the ball on the ground 3 times in this possession so far and come up with it all 3. So you think odds are if they do put it on the ball again, they're probably not going to get lucky one more time.
Approaching the 2-minute mark, trips to the right, to the near side from the far hash mark. Porish was waiting for that snap. He gets it. Now he wants to throw long, and it's Juergens. It was open. He came back to it just at the sideline, but it goes right through his hands. He's trying to stay in bounds as best he can. The Governor defender catching up. Schoenhardt overran the play as Juergens was coming back to it. Governors may be fortunate that there wasn't any contact or a pass interference. So a long incomplete pass. And it'll be 3rd down and a dozen here.
Yeah, just really Governors not creating any pressure up front with their 3 guys. I mean, they're pretty much settled for dropping guys in and trying to play athlete on athlete. And can be said, can be done, but you got to win jump balls and just kind of hope that some of the errant throws, and so far he's been pretty money from the quarterback position.
Porish in the pistol, throws high this time, pass is tipped by Carter Porish. Porter Hunsley makes a dive. Sutton Sonnenschein was there in coverage, but it's incomplete. And now 4th and 10, make it 4th and 12. From the Pier 36, it is certain 4-down territory, I would imagine.
I would assume. I mean, you're going to probably see him go to the Porish. I mean, when you're 6'5", I mean, what do you think that wingspan is? Like 82 inches? And I mean, so even though you're that tall, you've got that much extra. It doesn't matter sometimes how good your coverage is, but they've also, I mean, I've been really impressed with, with Hulst and Juergens being able to get out there and get some things done on the edges.
They'll bring 2 receivers, flank to the right, 1 to the left. Tight end in on the left side in the pistol. This is 4th and 12. Big play for the Governor defense. They're hoping for one at least. Porish looks like he's tucking and running. He plays it patiently, throws far, left side. Pass is tipped at the goal line. The Governor's at position. It's out of bounds on the far side, and the Governor defense will stand their ground and take the ball over as Huron turns it over on downs.
Yeah, and you see where 11 is. I mean, he's a really good quarterback. He's scrambling, kind of bringing defenders up, getting them out of position, and then stopping, setting his feet, and delivering just a heck of a ball. You just got to hope there where you've got 11 yards to play with that your guys aren't going to come up on that run any faster than they need to until he crosses the line. But then when he does cross that line, I mean, game on, give him a smack. But until then, stay back and defend your guy.
Anderson Porish himself was a tight end last year, as Colton McNeil played out the string as a 3-year starting quarterback. Also was a pretty good thrower of the football. Here's Ducheneau. He'll get wrapped up in the backfield with 1:30 to go. Here starting at their own 37-yard line, but this is the first time Ducheneau will get backed up. He's losing 3 to the 34. Huron, their defense still fired up.
Yeah, good blitz there by Oakley Anderson from Huron. Governors didn't pick it up at all. They're through the middle, and you know, when they're trying to get their assignments and who they're blocking, just missed a guy.
Lounsbury quick fire, far side to the right, and this one good for a first down pickup, and that's your guy, Carter Shufflebine, across the 45, and they'll spot him to the 49 as the Governors are now going in 2-minute drill mode.
Yeah, definitely got to get here, get set, get the ball out quick. Steele knows in these situations they practice this thing every single day, their 2-minute drill, so I can guarantee he's got a laundry list of plays that he wants to get to.
Under a minute to go. Lots of time this time, but Lounsbury running out of options. He'll roll to the left and look for Shufflebine. Throws it long, but throws it short. At the same time, short in front of the receiver coming back to it. It falls at the 25, incomplete. It'll be fortunate and good for the Govs, a clock stoppage at 47 seconds to go. Yeah, second quarter, 7-0 Huron.
When you're in your 2-minute, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just getting rid of it. Your downs, they mean something, but not a ton with 47 seconds. Ultimately, it's just stopping that clock to be able to be your friend rather than trying to go ahead and, you know, find that long pass.
Looking on the slant, Dill just hesitated, and Lounsbury led him, but the pass is incomplete at the 40. And it'll still be at the 49. They Pier 49. 3rd down and 10.
And I'm still seeing it. I mean, they're leaving Dill just open in spots and in holes. And if he brings that ball down and makes a catch, it's basically going to be a catch and run. Or, I mean, he's going to have one guy to beat and he's going to be gone. So I'm still seeing that matchup's going to be favorable here moving forward.
He may have been a little tentative on that play, though. Only 4 seconds off on that play. So the Governors will go to the ground. And Ducheneau's got room to the Huron 45. He dives to the 41. This looks like a Pier first down, but back at the Huron 49, there is a yellow marker down as well.
Yeah, not what you want to see when you finally rattle off a long run, you know, keep them off balance a bit, and they got to march it back.
Holding on the line of scrimmage for the Governors. Instead of an 11-yard pickup, it's a 10-yard mark-off, and they've got it back on their own 39 now, and it's going to be 3rd and 20. Well, one thing you know about Steve Steele is that doesn't mean you just run the clock out. Of course, Huron has one timeout they can use, and they probably will use it if they stop the Governors here on 3rd and long. Govs do have 2 timeouts themselves here in this first half.
Yeah, not a ton of 3rd and 20 plays that you have and keep in your playbook, especially with 37 seconds left. You are probably thinking to yourself, hey, they do have a timeout. I may have to kind of be careful with what I do with this here.
You know, I'd still say it's 4. As long as you get halfway there, it's probably still 4-down territory with 30 seconds now as the clock is running again. Here's Lounsbury in the pistol. He'll throw quickly out to Dill, just near side. He cuts back to the middle of the field and goes nowhere. Only a yard, and it's Gunnar Harris, the defensive back, who will drop Dilgis for a gain of just 1.
So I'm definitely not the only one seeing the matchup there, but Gunnar Harris comes up and he says you got to beat one guy, and he just wasn't going to let it happen on that one. But I still think moving forward, that's going to be something that maybe if we can even get him downfield, that's going to be a matchup we want.
Well, Huron does take their last time out. They'll force the Governors to punt on 4th and 19. Just 20 seconds to play. Let's pause for a quick 30-second Coca-Cola timeout. This is Pier Governor football. It's 7-0 Huron on River 92.7.
Graham Tire of Pier is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pier and surrounding communities' local activities.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Expect that to slowly drop. It was supposed to be about maybe down to 50 by 10 o'clock by the end of game play here tonight. Much better than last week, and that wind has died pretty much all the way down, so it's a gorgeous night for high school football, even though it's still summertime. 20 seconds to play. The Governors will punt. This is Lounsbury. He'll step up to his 30-yard line. Look at the spiral on this one. He will send the Huron deep guy back to his own 20. This is Hulston. The Governors are there to cover him up. Just a 2-yard return. Saw a big punt from Anderson Porish a little while ago. Caleb Lounsbury with a big one himself. And Hiron will have it 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. That's a 40-yarder himself.
Yeah, it was a nice punt. Good coverage downfield, and they've got 10 seconds left. So what do you get to see? Are they going to take a knee on this thing? I mean, they did take their timeout, so you'd think that they're probably going to come out and try and air one out here, but also not one where you'd want to miscue and give up something dumb here before half either.
Porish in the pistol. Well, he's just going to give up 4 yards and kneel on it. That's killing his rushing average, but it's a great first half for the home team, the Huron Tigers. And on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, after one full half of play, it's Huron 7. The Governors coming up empty, 7-0. Huron. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pier. Use them for all seasons, especially when it gets cold. And it'll be the folks at Gales Gas Service here to serve you. Let's take a 3-minute timeout. Our halftime break coming up. Halftime is sponsored by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial in the Northridge Plaza, or in Pier. Or rather, they are on East Sioux Avenue in the Capitol Creek Center Plaza. And we're back in 3 minutes to talk about an interesting first half of play. You're listening to Pier Governor Football, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Ameriprise Advisor.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pier brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker-owner.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing in Pier provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop flights between Pier and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pier to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pier. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pier Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford & Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pier. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best of luck in today's competition to the Pier Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at DancingSky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pier. Your choice for quality service and selection.
At Dakota Behavioral Health, we offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pier and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Explore the 2023 Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start-stop technology, you'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pier, South Dakota.
Futures aren't made by accident. They're dreamt, they're planned, they're discovered. At Northern State University, futures are the result of hard work and grit. NSU is an academic powerhouse with a spirit of exploration and genuine support, where professors know your name and push you to discover what you're truly capable of. But don't take our word for it. When you experience Northern, you'll see the difference here.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're an equal housing lender. Oahe Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured by NCUA.
Your equipment is working overtime in the summer heat, but can your parts keep up? At Grossenberg, we're rolling out our August filter sale so you can stock up and keep your machines running smooth. Now, through the end of the month, save 16% on John Deere and Fleet Guard filters to help your machines finish the season strong. Partner up with us and stop by your nearest location or visit Grossenberg.com to take advantage of this deal while it lasts.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if, a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Bind back deep. 1 of 2. And Mr. Min, who has a PAT, kicks this one. It's a little bit short. End over end. Shufflebind at the 20-yard line. Going to go on full speed ahead up the far hash mark across the 30 to the 35-yard line.
And he's
Anderson
so fun
is there to bring
return.
him down. I mean, we saw it last week, even in the elements, the speed he was able to turn on. We're talking about Shufflebind, of course, when he went 96 yards.
Yeah, he gets 0 to 60 real quick, kind of electric, and so he's a guy you want to see in the return game. And you kind of hold your breath because as soon as he pops through that first level, if he can get through it, he's probably gone.
So they'll give it to him right away. Quick hitter out to the near side and a dive ahead across the 40 to the 45. He's brought down there. And that's 9 yards on first down for the Governors. And so far, I mean, that's kind of exactly what we were talking about, Coach. You just need to execute and make your plays, but of course finish the drive. We'll see how far this one can go.
Yeah, the feeling out process is kind of over. Now it's time to get the ball in your playmaker's hands and do the deal and ultimately put some points on the board.
2 receivers left, 2 right, including Cooper Terwilliger in the slot to the right. With a hand on the ground, they'll stay on the ground. Here's Kia Ducheneau, first run of the second half. He bounced out once and then twice. He had the first down, but that second bounce out took maybe a couple of yards away as Huron converged nicely. Ducheneau to the 49, a pickup of 4, but a first down for the Governors.
And also kind of patient. I mean, he was following a blocker, needed to figure out when to get rid of him and go break it into the open field, but ultimately followed it for the first down, secured it, and now let's set the ball down and hit another play.
1st and 10 right near midfield, just a minute into the second half. 7-0 Huron leading the Pier Governors. Glad to have you aboard here on River 92.7. Ducheneau with a lot of room to run, straight up the gut into Huron territory. 45 down to the 40. There's 11 and another chain mover for the Pier Governors.
I think that's definitely something that they found. That's a wrinkle. You see they're moving a little bit faster here, ultimately having to slow down and wait for the chains to be moved. But they're seeing something in a point where they want to attack, and they're going to keep hitting this thing.
So from the Tiger 40, Ducheneau again. And he'll have to bounce it back to the left side. His vision is actually quite good on this play. And there's a scrum out there as it's pushing forward. And nice job again for the Governors to help their guy inside the 35 down to the 33. That's going to be 7 yards. Sean Lewis, Kia Ducheneau is running outstanding tonight.
I am. I'm definitely liking it. I mean, you say, hey, offensive line, open up a hole. Let's go. Kia, hit it. Let's get some yards and let's ultimately march this thing down the field.
Here he goes again. Quick pitch right side. He cuts back. He jumps over a man at the 30 and then advances to the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. And this is the thing, Coach. He's hitting the line of scrimmage at full speed. He's just getting a quick start and running with a purpose tonight.
Yep. 1-2 steps, get all the way up to full speed. I mean, we're seeing a good push from this offensive line. Like I said, probably at halftime was like, hey, guys, let's go. Put it on you.
That's 8 and a first down, trying to stick with what works. So this is a big hit here.
that was a definite good big middle linebacker standing there unblocked waiting for him.
In fact, the one guy I was looking at was one of the smaller guys on the field in Oakley Anderson. I don't know if that was him, but certainly Ducheneau did not get the better end of that. He did get 3 yards to the 22.
No, Oakley even at 5'7", 170. I mean, you've seen him. He's run the ball. He's blitzed. He's pretty shifty in there. He's also come and made some pretty good tackles.
2nd down and 7. The Governors are on the move in the opening drive of the second half. They'll take to the air for the second time. Here is Shufflebind as he'll make his move back inside the 20-yard line.
Yep, good screen game. Again, they're just kind of seeing exactly when they're playing off. They're setting up in that formation a few different times and just seeing where they're playing it, and then kind of hitting their run-pass option from there.
6 yards on Shufflebine's 6th catch of the night. The Governors are in the red zone. It's 3rd and 1 right now as we're at the 8:40 mark of quarter number 3. Governors trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time tonight, but they're in the red zone for the 3rd time overall. Again, opening drive of the second half. 3rd and 1. It's Ducheneau. He's got the first down. 15-10 with a stiff arm to the left hash mark and trying to get back upfield. Tigers will bring him down, drag him down there at the 9, and another impressive run for Kia Ducheneau.
Yeah, good run, straightforward. Get what you need. Get that first down. Like you said, just ball security from here. I do think if he'd have probably put his outside foot down, he had a cutback lane to the inside that might have sprung him free, but you never know. You got to make a decision, but you got to do it at full speed.
So to the far hash mark, in the pistol again, and they'll hand off to the right side. Ducheneau has to the 5 and falls forward maybe to the 4-yard line. An ankle tackle there by Landon Hulst. And they will put the Govs to the 4, and that's a pickup of 5 more. It was 1st and goal, now 2nd down and goal to go for Pier. And I just think you just have to stick with what works right now. Lounsbury surveying, and now a handoff to Ducheneau again. Lowers the boom at the 2. He's hit, and a good job standing up the running back here.
Yeah, but I think, kind of that pace we were playing with just a little bit ago. We stood there a little bit too long at the line. Kind of get up, get set. Don't let them get set, and really, on the defensive side, survey your formation. Just go up, get set, snap the ball, run it down the middle.
Line coach Scott and I, we always like to have him around when we're doing a broadcast, but he was saying, let's go, let's go. It was kind of a hesitation. There's 2 on that one. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. Huron fans clicking the metal bleachers, start left, back to the right, to the goal line. He's searching, and there is no signal here. The Tigers will stand up Ducheneau and make it a 4th and goal from the 1.
Yeah, I don't know. You wish you had an end zone camera, a pylon camera, just to see if he did cross it. It was definitely close. I mean, he's on the inch line, and it's, when you're a lineman and you have to sit in that stance forever, it's no, get down, get set, snap the ball, let's go, get moving forward.
4th and a foot or so for the Governors. This is, Lounsbury, he keeps it, he cuts back, and he's across, just barely. Touchdown, Governors.
Disaster averted.
Oh my goodness.
Probably the name of that play.
He turned to the left. I don't know if Ducheneau went the wrong way, if that was a broken play. Maybe that was, you could say maybe that was some trickery even, but it is a 1-yard touchdown for Caleb Lounsbury, and he got hit immediately then as soon as he crossed the goal line.
Yeah, what you do know is one of them went the wrong way. Whether it was Ducheneau, whether it was Lounsbury, one of them, and ultimately then you had a defensive guy that rushed and was right there. He almost looked like he didn't know what to do. And so then Lounsbury bounced it to the outside and had just enough room to cross the goal line.
Bit of a bobble on the PAT snap, but it's down, and Logan Whitty kicks it through, and the Governors tie the Tigers here with the 6:23 mark of our 3rd quarter of play. We'll pause for 30 seconds. Pier kicks when we come back in a 7-7 tie. This is Governor football.
For reliable, you're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize...
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
Cubs didn't march down and score, although it took a 4th and goal from the 1 and maybe a touchdown saving play on a broken play, a 1-yard run by Caleb Lounsbury.
Yeah, maybe not exactly how you drew it up at the end, but probably... up until that point, exactly what you went in the locker room and said, hey, here's what we need to do, here's what we saw, and I think you're going to see a large dose of it moving forward through the second half.
Whitty with a kickoff, a line drive taken by Landon Hulst, who's making a pretty impressive return as well across the 20, 25, 30. And the Governors will stack him up at about the 32. That's where the Tigers will get going here. Their first drive of the second half after the Governors went 12 plays, 64 yards in 5 minutes and 37 seconds to open the second half of play.
All right, so we saw the offensive adjustments. Now it's time, Governors on D, we'll get to see what defensive adjustments did we scheme up and, eventually shut down their stuff. For the most part, they've stuck into two different formations, either a trips open, look, some different variations, or this kind of twins where they lock you into either quarters or halves. So we'll see.
Two receivers either side. The busy guy has been Mason Juergens. He's in motion right to left. Comes to the near side, and it's a quick hitter to him. He slips a tackle, has the 35 up to the 40, and he gains another 5 or 6 yards. The Governors are having a hard time bringing Mason Juergens down when he's got the ball in his hands.
Yeah, Schoenhardt's just got to read that a little bit faster, get himself out there when you see that kind of movement, and you make that surefire tackle, because if you are the one guy out there pressuring it and you miss, it does turn into a big play, but ultimately he was there, just need to secure the tackle and finish that thing up.
They get 8 on that first down throw, 2nd and 2. Huron moving right to left, south to north. No wind to be a factor. There's a little option pitch, and Landon Hulst with a little hesitation crosses the 45 to the 46. Where he is brought down at that point. Max Bogenhagen there. Hulst looked like, and they run to the short side of the field, and it really didn't look like there was a lot of room to run, but he still gets 6 out of it, and the Tigers have a first down.
No, as long as you run your quarterback tight to that formation, and you put your halfback out a little bit further, you get some pretty good pitch relationships, but you also, like you said, do run out of space pretty fast if it gets extended any longer than you need it to.
Porsche rolls the far side and fires out to the 50-yard line. Pass is caught, and James Schultz Jr. catches his first pass of the night. He's got 4 yards to the 50.
Yeah, good tackling, good pursuit there by your inside linebacker to come out, because ultimately that play could have popped for a little bit more. So let's just see. We got to get some defensive lining. Like I said, we got to see some pressure from these 3 guys in the middle, although Huron stayed pretty active with the plan of we're going to get to the edge or get to the outside as fast as possible and negate any of that until longer down in distances.
Coach Steele said in pregame, stick to the schedule, and that's kind of what their MO needs to be here in the second half. Porish going to go on a keeper. He'll get ankle tackled as he crosses the 50-yard line. And this is Lincoln Schoenhardt.
Yeah, good pursuit from the backside. That's exactly what you need. That's Lincoln getting himself back in the mix. Where they kind of picked on him a little bit earlier in this series. When you can chase that down from the backside, that's exactly what you want and need.
Big play, big spot here for the Governor defense. They've got a 3rd and 4 for the Tigers. 7-7 tie after the Governors finally cracked the scoreboard to open the second half. We're under 4 minutes to play. 5 receivers as options. Porish going to keep it himself, and he cuts to the right. He's inside the 45, diving with that long 6'6" frame, and they give him just enough to the 44 for a first down. 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, he checked that and pulled it himself. He read the outside linebacker. The outside linebacker bit out with that quick little bubble look they did by their 2 receiver. And then when he saw him bail out, he's like, okay, I got an edge. I'm going to pull this down and see if I can get it.
Interesting. I see the big guy, Carter Porish, flanking out wide to the right. He's the only receiver out that way. Maybe watch for a float here. They're looking left where there are 3 receivers, and it's a floater of the pass itself as Porish is hit as he throws. Throw falls short, and a good job and a necessary defensive play made by the Governors here. 63 Lathan rounds coming off the nose. Eventually forced the issue. So there's a push by the 3 guys up front, Coach, that the Govs have been waiting for.
Yeah, and you needed to see that, because they were trying to go for a deep ball rather than these quick hitters that they've been on. And so you just need to give those guys time and, like I said, see if we can get them off schedule a bit.
2nd down and 10 in Pier territory. Huron has it at the 43-yard line. They'll stay down on the ground here with Landon Hulst, and well, he just follows the middle of the interior line inside the 40, and they get a good push. Hulst falls forward to the 37-yard line. That's for 7.
They did. Hopefully we could tighten that up. I haven't really seen that big push so far out of that Huron line yet, but that was a big one, and all he had to do was follow the middle 3, and they blew that guy back, and I think they just kind of all fell over each other in a pile.
So now it's 3rd and 4. Under 3 minutes to go here in an equally fast-moving third quarter. First two went quickly. There's a lot of ball control and time of possession being eaten up. We're seeing high snaps again. Porish maybe a little off rhythm, gets wrapped up. He kept it himself up the near hash mark. He makes it to the 35, but he's 2 yards short. Actually, they'll spot him at the 36 here and only get a yard. 4th and 2 coming up. Essentially, they'll need 3. It's call it a long 2, but a shorter 3. And Huron will keep that offensive unit on the field here at the 36-yard line. 2:12 to go, third quarter, and a 7-7 deadlock. One receiver both sides. He got a double tight end set with Hulst in the backfield. Juergens now actually in motion from the slot left to the right. Porish starts right. Governors get to him. He's down for a loss, and Pierre will take over on downs.
Very good way to stay home, especially on the backside. Will Eilers just kind of coming in, taking that thing down. It looked like they might get that. They were going for that speed option a little bit, and then the quarterback got a little antsy, tried to come that cutback, and Will Eilers made him pay.
At first, I thought he wanted to throw the football on 4th and 2, and maybe he had an option, but maybe he just thought it better to run it. And again, here comes up with a big defensive stop. Let's call that a Rounds Financial Services highlight play. Big play for the Governor defense. They'll come back on offense. First down play, quick hitter out to Shufflebein, far side of the field. He'll advance up ahead of the 40 to the 44 as the Governors will pick up 8.
Yeah, I mean, Huron did establish a very nice drive there, marching itself down the field, but, you know, Gov's kind of like we said early, get them out of schedule early, force them into something they don't want to do, and then they had to go for it on 4th down. And like I said, good play on 4th down. It's kind of your money down. You got to see that's just like a turnover.
You said Will Eilers made that big stop, I believe, right?
I do believe it was 9. I almost yelled Chase Satgast, but I think he graduated like 7 years ago, so I didn't want to do that.
So it's 2nd down and 2 here. Low snap, nice receive by Lounsbury. He hands it off, and Kia Douche, as good as advertised on this particular night, will advance to the 50-yard line.
Absolutely. Keep feeding that kid because he is coming to play.
20 carries tonight. I think he had about 10 or 11 last week for 40 yards. Right now, he had 44 at halftime on 10 carries, another 10, and, well, I'm not adding it up just yet, but he's got more than 44 here in the second half. We're in the final minute already here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, really clean game, right? I mean, not a lot of clock stoppages. Everything's been tackled in bounds for the most part. Things have gone, like you said, just really quick.
Jaron Deal, another opportunity on the jet sweep, little pitch, but Huron sees him going in motion, and they cover him up. A lot better this time. No gain here for Deal. He stays at the midfield stripe on his second carry, or the second, again, just a pitch pass.
2nd down and 9.
Probably just something else, secure, keep them guessing, maybe start widening them to the sideline and maybe give Kia a break before you hand him the ball again.
Might have got a half a yard on that one. Terwilliger lined up to the right. Now they give it to Ducheneau. He pulls to the far side once again. But again, Huron making a nice play. And we've got an official's timeout with the end of the quarter already done. And the Governors, well, they got their 7 to pull even. They're going to try for more when we come back into the fourth quarter. But our Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's Huron 7 and the Governors 7. Nothing decided yet. We've got 12 minutes of regulation to go. After this 60-second timeout, your scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pier. This is Pier Governor Football, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, where they treat you like you own the place, because you do.
seed and chemical needs and offers
back
ground
to the
and aerial
Hawaii
application. Call Brandon Hagg today at 605-216-6758. 605-216-6758.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium in the Fair City in Huron. It is 7-7. We're going to the fourth. Brian Oakland and Sean Lewis on the call of this one. Glad to have you aboard here on a Friday night. There's a good start for the fourth quarter for the Governors. Little rollout by Caleb Lounsbury and wide open inside the 35-yard line to the sideline as Carter Shufflebine. He advances and then falls out of bounds at the 30. That's a 20-yard hookup. And Coach Sean Lewis in that break, I asked you a little question about when are the Governors really going to start airing this thing out. Well, 20 yards, their biggest pass play of the game. That's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some momentum building.
And then make it look like a
fourth.
run, you know? When you can disguise it that you're going to roll that thing out and you got a lead blocker and you don't know if the quarterback's going to run it as well. You get that guy coming all the way across from the back half. That's just a great setup after the run game that we've had the whole last series.
Back to the ground, little pitch, and this is nothing for Ducheneau. In fact, he's going to be dropped for a loss of 2. And a play that just didn't look like, it didn't resemble anything of the positives that have been going on with the running game of the Governors so far here in this second half.
No, definitely a missed block right away up front. I think we're hearing Coach Nye behind us yelling a little bit at Coop, getting after him after we complimented his run blocking and how much that it is improved. Just getting beat a little bit by a quicker, smaller dude. So just get your footwork right, and I think he can clear that up real easy.
Loss of a couple, now 2nd and 12. Pass play here, and looking for Terwilliger, but somebody coming in front of him is Mason Juergens. Juergens on both sides of the football making plays tonight.
He's definitely one of their playmakers. You've seen him on the offensive side and the defensive side now a few different times. He's coming up big, and he came to play.
By the way, I did do some quick math in that last break there, and I had Kia Ducheneau with 10 carries and 56 yards in the second half. That put him in an even 100 for the game unofficially, but he did lose a couple 2 plays ago. So now it is 3rd and 12. Governors, Tigers tied 7-7. Pier has it at the Tiger 32-yard line. And Lounsbury wants to run straight ahead, but Huron in the backfield. They'll get him right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard at best.
Yeah, a spot where you're in 4-down territory, inside of the 35. Maybe try to just catch them bailing a little bit. I don't not like that play call. We just didn't get a ton of push on the offensive line. They kind of hit the edges where he didn't have a spot to pop it and didn't get much out of it. But I bet we had 2 play calls in the last huddle anyway.
Biggest play of the game here, 4th and 11. The Governors will go for it at the 31-yard line. That was 170-pound Rayshawn Wibb who made the stop on the D-line on that last play. 10.5 minutes to go in a 7-7 tie. 3 receivers, even 4 to the left. Now Lounsbury's going to tuck and run. He's got the 25, cuts back and challenges 2 defenders, but a yard shy of the 20-yard line to gain. A good effort by Caleb Lounsbury, but Huron will win the battle this time. And they'll turn the Governors over on downs, a 10-yard gain, but he needed 11.
That's definitely great effort by your quarterback. Dropped his shoulder to try and get that extra yard, but just got stood up. Ultimately, when you get the ball, give it back to him at the 20. It's kind of like a punt anyway, so no harm, no foul. It is a turnover. Maybe gives Huron a little bit of energy here, but as far as the grand scheme of field position and everything else, didn't really hurt.
The thing to think about, though, the way this game has gone, time of possession has been dominated by both offenses. And right now, it's up to the Governor defense to get this ball back as soon as you possibly can. Huron had some 3-and-outs in the second half last week. The Governors love to get one here. Over the middle, though, they've got Porish. He slips a tackle to the 35, up to the 40, brought down by the last line of defense in that Governor defensive backfield.
That's a good seam route right up the middle. Definitely the swing route that they've been hitting on the outside with number 5 and Juergens is drawing attention of the Governors. So they got caught peeking, just looking out to the outside quick, and then they hit that one right down the center.
Carter Porish for 20 yards from Anderson Porish. Good start here on their second possession of the second half, and we've got 9:50 to go in the fourth quarter. High snap again. Anderson Porish brings it down. He loses his footing as he starts right and then cuts up the middle across the 40, but he'll fall forward for a gain of only 1. And the Governors get a little help on that first down play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 42.
Yeah, so I mean, now here getting them a little bit off schedule, seeing what they do, get a decent stop or a short yardage here on 2nd down, and then you're getting in your downs where you can kind of tee off a little bit on defense.
Tigers break the huddle here. 2 receivers.
Trips
to the left, trips
yep.
to the left. In fact, 1 receiver to the near side. And you still got Hulst, who's run well in the backfield. Out of the pistol. Porish has it. He throws right. It's up in the air. Single coverage. Who's got it? The Governors have it.
Got it.
It's an interception. Aiden Beam had the position on the freshman Carter Porish. And for the first time tonight, the Governors have turned over the Huron Tigers. That ball floated seemingly far enough, but just at the last moment it was ultimately underthrown. Now Carter Porish dealing with a cramp, but a big play as Aiden Beam turns in the Rounds Financial Services highlight play, the interception. And the Governors will have it 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Absolute fantastic positioning there by Aiden, being able to stay inside the receiver, really squeezing him out with his body. Especially when you're working with a guy who's 6'5". If you're not in good position, you're going to get exposed. And so just being able to have his technique down helped him in that situation. Ultimately, there's your turnover. Now we're 1-1, and we're even on the scoreboard as well. Let's see what we can do offensively.
7-7. Try it again on a 70-yard field here for the Governors. Just under 9 minutes to go. First round run to Kia Duchesneau. And I still feel like you can keep running Duchesneau, but as the Tigers keep stopping him here, like in this case for just a couple of yards, now you get to the point where you're just using the run to set up a pass here. And I still think the Governors have another big play over the through the air left to come. Yeah, and you want to see Lincoln Dill just getting this mix again too.
I do. I just think, depending on what's happened, his matchup against 26 here with Gunnar Harris hasn't been the one, but when I've seen him a little bit on number 4, when they've gotten that matchup, I really like that one. Just the size and speed over the top.
Good surge here for Lounsbury on the keeper. He crosses the 40. He'll gain the 42 to the 44, in fact, and that's a pickup of 12 for Caleb Lounsbury, who's got 22 on his last 2 carries. And now at first down, it looks like we've got a timeout on the field here.
Another cramp there by Juergens. I think that's the second one in a row that he's been down for, so I think they got to pull him off, get him stretched out, and they need him on the field. So I don't fault his effort here for trying to get himself back out there as quick as possible.
Actually, it was Carter Porish who had the cramp at the end of that that last play with the interception of Aiden Beam. So you think of those more on warmer nights, but it's still that time of the year when you do see those things popping up.
You're a high school kid. You're sit your butt in class, do the thing, do the day. You're not thinking 100% about your hydration, especially because it's not warm out, but it can creep up on you just because it is early season.
Lounsbury with room again. He comes near side of the hash mark from the 44 across the 45 to the 50. Jeremy Hofer in on this stop to the Huron 49 and a pickup of 6.
Yeah, and the multidimensional that you're seeing from this offense, being able to run with your running back, hit a few plays to get them thinking about it, and then also being able to pull your quarterback down. Anytime you have a running quarterback threat, it just adds a complete another dimension to your offense and just something else that the defense has to be aware of, has to be thinking about, and then they're that much slower to where they probably should be.
7 for Caleb, 2nd and 3, and this one a dive by Terwilliger as a little miscommunication between QB and receiver.
That's Dill just out there. He's just so long, that 3-yard dive forward just with his body. Didn't look like he got much, but I still think he got probably 2 on the play.
They'll give him 1 to the 48-yard line. That's the second time those two have miscommunicated on either a slant or a little quick hitter. The Governor's still in a good situation here. 3rd down and 2 from the Tiger 48. We're under 7 minutes to go in a 7-7 tie. You can tell we are on metal bleachers here in Huron as the fans start patting their feet. Duchesneau takes the give, and he is hit by 2 Tigers. Another surge just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard.
And it looks like we've got a flag on the play as well.
That I did not see. Right now I'm kind of battling with the lights and what I'm able to see. And the Governors are getting a break here. This is a 5-yard face mask called on the Tigers.
Well, I didn't see it till they all got up off the pile, so I think he threw it right in the direction that it happened, and then everybody kind of landed on it. So I don't fault you for not seeing it. You're not that old.
So they add 5 yards here, and this will be a first down pickup to the 43-yard line. First down, Governors. So Duchesneau essentially didn't get anything, if anything, on that last play. Doesn't matter. It's a first down and a chain mover, and it'll stay with Lounsbury here. He'll get undercut as he approaches the 42. Landon Hulse once again. Good low tackle this time. Just a yard. Again for Pier.
Yeah, he's been kind of a shifty little linebacker. I mean, you haven't seen a lot of our guys be able to block him and stay in front of him. He's done a good job with getting hands off, shedding a block, and being in quite a few tackles yet tonight.
Halfway through quarter number 4. This is only the 3rd possession for the Governors in the second half. They scored on their first one to tie it up at 7-7. We still have a 7-7 tie. Pier to the Tiger 42-yard line. Lounsbury, quick throw to Dilgis. This one's a little bit short. Lincoln's got to go to the knees to haul it in. It's actually a short hop, and that'll save the Governors a couple of yards. Otherwise, he's down behind the line of scrimmage.
I like that they're getting him actively involved, but I think with his skill set, it's got to be maybe even something over the top. Just getting him streaking down the field, put it in his hands. Because like I said, he's got length. He's got some pretty good speed. He's got some pretty good ball skills. We just haven't really gotten him as active in the passing game as I think we'd have liked yet tonight.
You know, I'd still like to see the Governors air it out, but I think it all depends on how many defensive backs the Tigers have there, and they have been stacking the second and the third line of defense. They've got 3 down linemen. Got a linebacker coming after Lounsbury, who takes a big hit. He stood up. He's hit from behind and then hit from in front afterward. Brought down to the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2, and here comes another 4th down situation for the Pier Governors.
Yeah, we gotta make things look the same, but yet come a little bit different with the hit, because we've went to that play action where we're running it. I really wouldn't be surprised if maybe this is a spot where we dial up Carter Shufflebine's number.
4th down and 7 at the Huron 40. The next biggest play of the game. Under 5 minutes to play. The Governors need this one to keep this one going. Terwilliger's on the left end. Lounsbury has time. He finds the big guy at the 30-yard line. First down, Pier, unless there's flags on the field. Doesn't look like it is the case, and it's a Terwilliger connection here to the 29-yard line.
I think that was a pretty quick peek to Carter Shufflebine to see where he was at and how he was guarded, and then ultimately it was, hey, I'm going to put this down to the big guy.
That's 11 yards. Second catch in the night for Cooper Terwilliger. A lot of eyes on him all season, of course, but Pier has a new set of downs, a 4th down conversion. They needed 7, they get 11. Now they're to the 29-yard line. 4:15 after the restart. The movement of the chains. Here is Shufflebine. Pitch pass comes to the right end, and that's closed off. He spins and cuts back up the middle of the field and gets at least back to the line of scrimmage.
I definitely like the play call. Just 2 guys coming off the edge. Not much you can do besides try and get back to the line of scrimmage. But, it's kind of crazy to think that we have 2 6'5" tight ends, contingency on both sides. I mean, where are you going to find in South Dakota high school football that you're going to probably have 2 better tight ends on the same field at the same time?
Good point there. 3 receivers eligible left, including Terwilliger, 1 to the right. Pump fake. Oh, wide open. It's Jaron Deal. No, he loses it at the goal line right through his hands. Pump fake by Lounsbury, and they sold it. Huron bit, but as Deal was running free, the ball goes right through his hands as he's about ready to cross the goal line. Tough break for the sophomore. Deal's used to throwing passes like that in the JV games so far this season, but a missed opportunity for the Governors. They still have it 3rd and 10, and still A decent situation, 4 down territory.
Yeah, a little excitement, a little inexperience, but I tell you what, that's one he'll want to have back, but I think he's going to get plenty more opportunities here in the future.
Lounsbury rolls right, goes to Terwilliger. Ooh, cut up and under. Nope, this is it. It is Terwilliger.
Yep.
Inside the 30, they'll call it the 27. That's only 2 on that one. The good news is about that last play, Coach, Jaron Deal's never going to do that again.
No.
You know? I said that once about Jack Merkwan, too, and look what happened with him.
Turned into a pretty good one.
He's all right. All right, 4th and 8, the next biggest play of the game. The third one on this particular drive as we're under 3 minutes to go. Huron's defense hoping for one big stop. Lounsbury in an empty backfield, and the Governors just flinched.
Yep, a little false start by our offensive line. Kind of came up, popped out of his stance. We're going to get backed up a quick 5. And
so 5 yards to the negative. We'll send them back to the 32. That's penalty number 4 on the night against the Governors. So 4th down and 13. And again, back to the 32-yard line. Hey, you pump fake, and you had a man wide open one side. Why not go the other way this time? Yeah. You don't need it all, you just need 13. Maybe 13 and a half. It's Lounsbury on the far side, 3 receivers left, 1 right, back to throw from the 40, over the middle, and overthrown, and Hiron stands their ground. He was looking for Shufflebine. I'll be honest, when he throws over the middle and a high pass as it was, you just kind of assume Cooper Terwilliger was there. He was a little bit underneath at the 5 or the 10-yard line. He was down there, but he was looking for going for it all with Shufflebine. Incomplete pass, another double-digit number of plays drive, but the Governors will turn it over on downs, and with 2:19 left, this one's just getting interesting. It's Huron starting at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's where you turn it into not every possession is important, but you're going to turn this into every play is about as important, and so
now Porish wants to pump fake. There's Aiden Beam again. Did he get another one?
He got another one.
Porish underthrows his intended receiver this time.
Good. Glad there's not any laundry on the field, because when he went and moved and I saw that ball get spiked, I'm like, oh, kid, you're doing so great. Don't make a bonehead mistake and give up any sort of field position here.
Chase Shukart, a backup wide receiver. The junior was the intended receiver. Beam turns in his 2nd interception on as many passes by Anderson Porish. And the Governors have another bit of new life. Now they've got it, this time at their own 34.
And you think to yourself, with 2:19 left, man, we just got to be able to try and get this ball back and wear these guys out. And offensively, you're like, just got to march it, not turn it over. Big turnover on 1st down, and now the Governors back in control.
4 wide, 2 either side. They look left, throw back to the right, and a running start here for presumably. It's Jaron.
I think it was Shufflebine. Or no, yeah, I think you're right.
I think they announced Deal. Gotta love when Josh Hader's on the mic here, PA guy. He happens to be our state treasurer, but he's one of the best PA guys you can ever have around. That's a 7-yard gain for Jaron Deal. His 3rd catch. A couple of pitch passes in there and catches as well. 2 minutes to go, under 2 minutes to go, 1:35 to be exact. Here's Lounsbury, bobbled the snap, but he comes forward, gets to the 45. That's good for a 1st down. Coach, I want to speculate about something, though. When Huron had that ball the last time, they just, they had 2:19 to go. They had the whole field. They've been doing the job offensively and picking up the yards they need when they need, but I think they might have just got a little bit too greedy on that last play, trying to go for the big one.
Yeah. You just got to think to yourself, okay, is that a little bit of an experience trying to get it all at once? Not that I was an offensive play caller.
There's Lounsbury. He's picked off from the 45. This will be a pick 6 for the Huron Tigers. Jeremy Hofer caught underneath the pass. And in this case, Maybe the Governors went to the well one too many times with these quick hitters out to the edge. Hofer saw it coming, and he picks it off and takes it 45 yards to the house. It's a defensive touchdown for the Tigers with 1 minute and 1 second left. They lead 13-7.
Well, as I was saying, possession. You got to keep possession, especially in the last 2 minutes. Limit the number of passes, the touches, the exchanges, and just kind of get that ball moving forward, control the clock, and get yourself in position to get a score. And when you have an errant mistake like that, now you just got to see how you can respond.
Mid on for the PAT, but he misses it. He clanks it off the left upright. So the Tigers will settle for 6, and this one's not over yet. It's 13-7 Huron. We pause for 30 seconds. Tigers kick. When we come back, you're listening to Pier Governor Football.
Reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitt's Design Build is conveniently located in Pier, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pier, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pier Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pier Governors.
Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line.
Welcome back to
The kick failed, though, so keep that in mind. If the Governors can get something going on the way back, it's going to be a squib kick, and this one will go out of bounds, and that'll help the Governor cause. The Shufflebind was deep. Can I tell him your prediction?
Nope, they're going to re-kick.
Okay.
Steele's going to make him re-kick. He's not taking this thing at the 35. He's going to make him do it again.
So we'll see what happens.
We will see.
So I can't tell him yet?
Nope.
Okay. Sean Lewis has made a call. That's all I'm going to say.
It wasn't the Domino's.
Not on his phone. Not on his phone. Although we haven't had supper tonight, so...
And I may not have a ride. I may need to call a taxi. This game's moved so fast.
Oh, yeah, you got a little thing at the University of Sioux Falls tomorrow, right?
Yeah, a little 6 o'clock kickoff whiteout game. Going to go watch USF and Northern play, watch a few of our Governor alum on both sides of the ball.
Something to look forward to. All right, let's re-kick it here. By the way, Big Rounds Financial Services highlight play from Jeremy Hofer on that pick 6. Anderson Porish will keep it on the ground. 3-hopper. Looks like Kia Duchino picking it up at the 30-yard line, but good pursuit by the Tigers. I think that's who we got. Is that Hofer again?
I do believe so.
22. In on a big stop. The Governors will have it at the 40-yard line instead of the 35 for what it's worth, although they did lose a few seconds on that sequence.
Yeah, you can see they were definitely looking at putting the ball on the ground, keeping it away from Carter Shufflebind. As my call was that if he'd get it, he was taking it back to the house because I think he's running angry right now, ready to make a play for his team.
All right. Governors have all 3 timeouts. 58 seconds to go. Here in regulation, it's 13-7 Huron. Lounsbury goes over the middle and a big hit. Catch is made by, is that Sutton Sonnenschein?
Yep.
19 or 15?
15.
Still can't tell. That's Hudson Stoser in on the catch. 4-5, maybe 6. They give it to the 46. Lounsbury again has his man, this time into Tiger territory, 45 to the 40, and that is Shufflebind. And that'll get to the Huron 39. First down for the Govs. So 6 for Stoser, 15 for Carter Shufflebind. Lounsbury again. 22 seconds left. This will be incomplete inside the near hash mark. Not for Lincoln Dilgis.
Good route combination. I mean, we kind of had We had Jared and Deal open. Dill just is open, sitting in the hole. We just got to pull that thing down.
13-7. The Governors are 39 yards out still. 21 ticks to play. All 3 timeouts still, so use the middle of the field and spend that timeout if you need to. Coming to the near side, Deal is open. 35 to the 30. He's got a couple of blockers, plus the sideline where he gets pushed out of bounds inside the 25. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah,
right at the 25. It'll be 14 for Hiron Deal.
Same play for the most part, just going to the other option. Just kind of seeing what they had and what they were giving you. You get a second look at the exact same thing. You just got to make a different decision with it. He did, and Jaron Deal coming up with some big yards, and Dill just with some really nice downfield blocking.
9 seconds off the clock that time. Now 13 seconds to play with 25 yards to go, and Coach Steele's going to take his first Coca-Cola timeout of the second half. This is what high school football's all about. Stick with us. Back in 30, it's a Coca-Cola break in the action. The Govs trail by 6 on River 92.7.
Wagner Auto Company is a 4th-generation family-owned business established.
Here's Olsen, plenty of time, 3 seconds, gets to shoot, and it's good for 3.
From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball, follow the Pier Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Caleb Lounsbury, empty backfield. 3 receivers flanked to the short side, near side. Shufflebine is far to the right. They'll go quickly. Actually, there was a second receiver out there. Now to the 20, 15, tripped up. The clock will stop to move the chains on the first down pickup. And that is Shufflebine again with his 10th catch of the night. 6 seconds to play. There's pretty much time for only 1 play left. And the Governors, I imagine, will take a timeout as they've got it to the 14-yard line. A pickup of 11. Look for a moment there, Coach, that Carter was going to break that one and go the rest of the way.
Yeah, they've been diving at his ankles, taking him out there. He's definitely a guy, like you said, you want to put the ball in his hands because he's got the grit, he's got the want, and he's making the catches and making the plays. So, let's go with it. Cooper's doing well blocking over there on the edge, and see what we got dialed up here. I think ultimately we're probably going to call, we got 1 timeout left, but we got 6 seconds. So realistically, depending on how long the play takes, you can't have it take too long and run that off. You got a shot at 2 plays. You got to figure out what you're going to do.
Well, you got to find it quickly first, and just obviously to me the obvious option is your big guy down the middle, Cooper Terwilliger.
Yeah, you would think, although they put 2 or 3 guys on him almost every single time, but you got to create a matchup, hit a push route, see if you can get him running over the middle and hit the chine out to the outside and just see if you can get some separation.
And maybe that's at least a play where if Lounsbury doesn't see it, he can throw it out of the end zone and still have time for 1 more play.
Yeah, as long as it develops quickly. You just don't want something that takes forever and takes all that time off the clock.
But he does have Anderson Porish playing center field too, so that would be about an even matchup. All right, this is it, folks. 13-7 Huron. 6 seconds to go. The Governors have it first down for what it's worth at the 14-yard line. Shufflebine is wide to the right. 3 receivers left. Lounsbury, the senior, looking to throw quickly, has it short, and it is incomplete, and that saves the Governors another play. They would have had a first down. They could have called a timeout, so I guess that, again, could have been to the Governors' advantage if Terwilliger is able to pull this one in, but it was a little bit short and off the shoe tops of Cooper Terwilliger, so now they'll take their final Coca-Cola timeout. And again, hey, it's Pier and Hiron. This is the most, heated rivalry I think that Pier has ever had. Certainly back to my days in high school, a bunch of years ago. But I'd still always tend to root for the underdog sometimes, and I just feel real good about Huron's performance here tonight. I feel good for them, for Coach Strand, and regardless of what happens. This team is, they're they're to be not to be taken lightly for the rest of this season, judging by what's happened tonight.
It's definitely been a pretty even game. It's been one play being the difference so far with that pick six, and that's what you've got left here on the clock with 2 seconds. You've got time for one more play, so it's which team can make that one more play and make it count. And game's not over yet. There's still 2 seconds, there's still time, there's still life, and we just got to see what's going on. Huron's going to park 5, maybe even 6 guys here on the goal line, and try and keep everything in front of them. They've got 3 guys up on the line. They're probably going to rush the top side guy just to see if they can get any sort of pressure, and we just got to find a seam, find a crease, and get one in.
So this will be the last play of the game, barring a defensive penalty. Lounsbury has the snap. He'll step up. He throws up high, and it is knocked away by the Tigers. They were looking, I believe, for Cooper Terwilliger, and the Tigers celebrate as they have knocked off the monster that has been the Pier Governors, at least in the last 8-9 years. Terwilliger was in a crowd, but Lounsbury tried to get it to him. He absolutely had to. I think in the grand scheme of things, you had to give it a try to where he can try to win a jump ball. And boy, Coach Sean Lewis, I didn't see who it was, but somebody got up there and just knocked it away. And kudos to the Huron Tigers as they win this one by the score of 13-7. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pier.
Yeah, you knew if anybody was going to be free, it wasn't going to be Cooper. He was going to command the attention of at least 2 of them, but you still got to hope he's got the size, got the length, got the physicality that he can come down with a jump ball. And it was there. I didn't see who knocked it down, but you also had the thought of, does Lounsbury pull this thing down and actually run it? But if he did, he was going to get, corralled upon by about 4 or 5 guys as well. So, put it up into Cooper's hands and see if he can come down with it.
It certainly seemed like he tucked and ran. He basically got right up to the line of scrimmage when he pulled the trigger, looking for Terwilliger. And again, you'd kind of think that was his best hope, if not his only hope, and unfortunately, it doesn't work out for the Pier Governors tonight. The Huron Tigers with a huge win for their program, as again, they defeat the Governors 13-7. Again, the scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pier. Basically one last Rounds Financial Services, right on the money, highlight play for the Huron Tigers and their defense. Their backfield played outstanding tonight. They get the win. They're 1-1 on the season. The Governors, with their first loss, will fall to 1-1 on the year. We'll talk all about it after a 3-minute timeout. Your Family Dental postgame comes up next. Family Dental with offices in Pier and Gettysburg. Conversation with head coach Steve Steele coming up. We've got our Hermanson Endodontics big plays of the game, your Cowboy Country Stores player of the game, all coming up in your Family Dental postgame. Congrats to the Huron Tigers on this win tonight. Your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Dr. Ryan and his team at Family Dental in Pier and Gettysburg would like to thank their wonderful patients for allowing us to treat their whole family, from infants to elders and everyone in between, including routine dental care, same-day crowns and bridges, implants, and many more procedures. We are excited that soon we'll be able to offer IV sedation. We are excited for what the future will bring. Call 224-7774 to schedule an appointment today. Again, thank you to all our wonderful patients.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest, convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pier Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Welcome back to Tiger Stadium. There have been a lot of low-scoring nail-biters in this rivalry going back to the 70s and even before that and through the 80s and the 90s. We remember games similar to this, but well, doggone it anyway. It turns out to be the Tigers' night as they defeat the Governors 13-7. Coach Sean Lewis, as he said, it was an even game all game long, and really, this game just comes down to which team made more plays. When we look at the stats, the Governors dominate the second half yardage-wise, time of possession-wise, but they just, it was all about finishing tonight, and there were just too many possessions that ran so much time off the clock, picked up so many yards, but the last 10, 15, the last 20 yards or so were the toughest all night long for Pierre.
Yeah, ultimately, you think back of that pick six. That was kind of the nail biter that put everything in. And, now you're hearing in the background, Huron's ringing the bell. That's kind of their tradition that they do. Is one thing I know as a coach. Even if we had a close game at halftime, I went in at halftime and I was like, dude, do not let these guys ring the bell because they will ring it all night long in Huron. And that's what they're sitting up there doing, But here's the thing that I've seen so far in AA football. One loss I don't think is going to be the end of a season. Oh. It's not going to, especially early. You're going to see both these teams develop. I think there's so much parity and so much just evenness out of AA football. It's who's going to develop, who's going to get better out of this win or loss, and ultimately who gets kind of hot come later in the year. And I think, as our team, our Governors get better. The time of possession was there. The yardage was there. It's just the ability to not have those errors, mental errors, and put the ball, in the end zone when you're in the red zone. And so you fix those things, you shore them up, and we probably got a different ball game on our hands. So it's definitely one that'd be interesting to see this matchup later in the year.
There's kind of an undeniable truth in Governor football, and we said it when the Governors lost their first game last year to Watertown. And ironically, we say, you can beat the Governors once. You can beat Steve Steele once in a season. You're probably not going to beat them twice in a season. That actually did happen with Watertown last year in the Dakota Dome. But over the last this run of championships and dome appearances that the Governors have had, that's been the case ever since Steve Steele showed up. You don't beat the Governors twice in a season. And as early as this one comes, obviously there are things that'll be cleaned up. But I just gotta hand it to that Huron defense. I think they had a near perfect game plan. Bend but don't break, and hopefully the right play falls in your lap, and that's exactly what happened here for the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think offensively we did some things, but then we had some drop balls, we had some turnovers, and those kind of things as you're trying to click and play a clean game, especially how fast and clean this game went. You can't have those. You got to minimize them, and Huron did pretty good in the first half with their possessions. I wouldn't say in the second half they necessarily made great decisions with their possessions, as I don't know if I would have ever let my quarterback throw it towards Hayden Bame again with the way that he was playing. But you got to also think to yourself, if those 2 interceptions don't happen, does Huron just march the ball down and score 2? So it's a game of, ifs and buts or candy and nuts, but we just have no clue as to how that would have turned out. But we got the result we did, and ultimately you got to deal with it and move on.
Yeah, like I said, when they threw that second interception, they were going for the long one after taking things back, and I really thought they'd have been better off to just eat some clock and be more methodical about it and then go for the downs when necessary. But, because imagine you make that play, you're still giving the Govs the ball back with 2 minutes left, and usually that doesn't bode well. And certainly, again, Huron had the defense that came to play and made the plays tonight. But it certainly turned out to be their night in this one. Great ball game, but 13-7, Huron wins it. And again, both teams are now 1-1 on the season. Here's how it happened. Right off the bat, the Tigers took the opening kick and the opening drive after a start at the 37-yard line, 11 plays and 63 yards and 4:19. A big fourth down hookup from Anderson Porish to Carter Porish that set him up in the red zone, and then the last 7 yards picked up on a Porish pass to Mason Juergens, and Mr. Min, the kicker, put the PAT through. Governors were down 7-0 with 7:41 to go in the first quarter, but Pier certainly was able to respond. Starting at their own 36-yard line, they had an 11-play drive of their own, getting all the way to the 9-yard line, but on a 4-yard pickup, Caleb Lounsbury did get hit, and he lost a fumble, and Huron took over. That's big play number 1 for the Huron defense. After a Huron 3-and-out, the Governors have great field position right near midfield again, starting at the 10:26 mark of the second quarter. They get into the red zone again, but on a fourth down play, actually a missed field goal from the right hash mark from 29 yards out. Logan Whitty just pushed it a bit, and it stayed 7-0. Huron chewed a bunch of time at the 6:07 mark once again in their next possession. They went from their own 20 to the Pier 36, but they turned it over on downs, but still a 4.5-minute possession. Pier had 1:37 to go. They got a first down from their own 37, but at midfield they were forced to punt. Huron had one play and a kneel down to preserve a 7-0 lead at intermission. The Governors got the ball to start the second half. The kickoff returned to the 36-yard line, and they looked like a team that was on a mission, and they were running the football with Kia Duchesneau, who was just running very strong. But the Governors finally get it into the end zone on a 12-play, 64-yard drive, taking 5:37 off the clock. It was Lounsbury on 4th and goal from the 1 who was not able to complete a handoff to Duchesneau. He tucked and ran. He got to the goal line, then was hit, but he did cross. And that was good for 6, as Logan Whitty had the PAT good as well. And Pier tied it 7-7. That comes with 6:23 left in the third quarter. Huron with another time-consuming possession, but they turned it over on downs again at the Pier 36 on the 9th play of the possession, and another 4.5-minute drive that gave Pier just 1:50 to go in the third quarter. They chewed clock, but picked up a couple of first downs, got to the Huron 21-yard line, but were not able to convert on 4th down again. Then the Tigers come up. Now we're at 10:22 in the fourth. Huron on their second play, they throw long, and they were looking for Carter Porish, but it was Aiden Beam who cut under it. He had the good position. Pier gets a takeaway for the first time tonight with 10:22 in the fourth quarter, and after scoring most recently, they looked to break a 7-7 tie. They went to work from their own 30-yard line, and a possession once again that took 6.5 minutes this time for the Governors, but again, the drive stalls. They turned it over on downs. 4th down conversions were not the friend of the Governors tonight, but Huron does the Governors a favor. With 2:19 left from their own 32, Anderson Porish airs it out again, looking for a young man by the name of Chase Schuchart, but once again, Aiden Beam was there on the near side, and once again, he had the position. He picks off Porish for the second time in a row, only to have the Governors take over from there with 2:19 left. The second play of the ensuing drive Another quick out to the near side from Caleb Lounsbury. This time Jeremy Hofer jumps the route, and he picked it off and took it to the house from 45 yards out. That made it 13-7. Kicker misses with the clanger off the left upright, however, and the Governors still had a little bit of life. With 1 minute and 1 second to go, Pier starts after the kickoff at their 40-yard line. They did run 7 plays, but the last one from 2 seconds with 2 seconds left, and from the 14-yard line, Lounsbury stepped up in the pocket. He threw to the right side looking for Cooper Terwilliger, but it was the Tigers I didn't see. Nobody saw. In fact, I even asked one of the more vocal Huron fans in front of us who knocked that one down, but he didn't see it either. And you just got to give credit to, and it would be poetic justice with the game he played if it was Mason Juergens, because he was outstanding on both sides of the football here tonight. Could have been Porish because he had 6'5", waiting for 6'6", coming to the goal line as well. But, bottom line is Huron made the plays, and the Governors came up 1 play too few. And a 13-7 loss for the Governors. Pier with, again, yardage-wise, a better second half, but not enough. They do outgain Huron unofficially 314-189 tonight. Governors with a good ground game, 145 yards overall. Kia Ducheneau had 20 carries for 100 yards, but then he lost 2 yards, and unofficially he finishes with 21 carries, 98 yards on the night. But again, can't say enough about the way he looked like he was running for most of the evening. Caleb Lounsbury, 47 yards on 11 carries rather, had the only touchdown of the night from 1 yard out on the ground. Lounsbury through the air completes 22 of 31 passes, but most of them the short variety. 169 yards through the one crucial pick that Jeremy Hofer took to the house the other way. Carter Scheffelbein will finish with 11 catches on the night. Overall, 106 yards gained. Cooper Terwilliger catches 3 for 15. Lincoln Dilges 3 catches for 12 yards. Jaron Deal had 4 catches tonight with 30 yards totaled. Hudson Stoser with a 6-yard pickup as well. Of course, Deal, and it's a negative play, but did miss one at the goal line that went right through his hands, and that's the learning experience of the night. So certainly won't dwell on it, but it was a big play in this game. Governors ultimately pick up 19 first downs in this game, but a fumble lost on their first possession and the interception on their second to last possession that went the other way for the Tiger deciding touchdown in a 13-7 win for the home team. Huron on the ground tonight will pick up 71 yards. They get 50 from Landon Hulst on 8 carries. Anderson Porish with 10 keepers from the quarterback position held in check with just 21 yards. In fact, he had 17 yards after just 2 carries, but then the rest of the way he goes 8 carries and just 4 yards. Oakley Anderson 1 carry for no gain tonight. Porish through the air was doing great until the 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter, but obviously Tigers still come out on top. Porish 10 out of 21 for 112 yards with the 2 picks. Mason Juergens is the guy, 6 catches, 49 yards. He had the 7-yard touchdown on the first drive of the game. Carter Porish catches 2 balls tonight of 24 and 20 yards, but man, both of them in crucial situations and to keep drives alive, including that first one on a 4th and 10 play. Riley Winiger, 1 catch, 15 yards. James Schultz, 1 catch for 4 yards. Huron is penalized 4 times for 25 yards. They had a lot of penalties in the loss to Yankton in the second half last week. They had 0 in the second half tonight. Pierre only had 1 penalty themselves. The Tigers with 9 first downs unofficially, and the 2 turnovers, both picks thrown by Anderson Porish, picked off both by Aiden Beam. But your final score is Huron 13-7 over the Governors. Coach, if you got to get going, final thoughts here in this one, and hopefully we'll see Coach Steve Steele up here, but I'm sure he's got a lot to still talk about and trying to explain to the guys that sometimes things don't go your way.
Yeah, I'm sure he's doing a lot of counseling in there. I mean, I don't remember the last time that we've lost to Huron. I don't know if I'd want to even try to remember the last time we lost to Hiron, but this is not some of the Huron teams that we've played in the past. This more resembles that Huron team that we played in the Dome a few years back. That they've got some athletes,
which was a great defensive team, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean they did just enough defensively tonight. I mean they didn't Didn't do anything fantastic, but they did just enough. They limited plays. Like you said, and the more I reflect on the pick six, I mean, that's one of the hardest throws to try and ask your quarterback or for your quarterback to make. I mean, he's got to be aware of that as well. I mean, it's to the field side, it's to an out route, and it's also not to your vision side. And so, I just think back of, when we were going through Kienholz's recruiting process, like Kienholz would throw that throw and all of the college coaches were basically opening the pocketbook because that, is the hardest throw to make and to make consistently and to put on a dime and also to put it where a defender can't get it because it's one of the easier, an out route's an easy route for an inside guy to jump as long as you see it and see the break and see it early. And he did. He saw the break. He saw it early or he went and got for it. So, like I said, you got to shore some things up. You got to have those possessions back where you're not. And ultimately when the ball does get in the red zone, you got to put it in the end zone. And I think that's kind of what it equates to for tonight. And, it's kind of the lesson that I guess I would take because I think defensively both teams played pretty well. Like you said, outside of that first drive, Huron didn't really, threaten red zone march down the field. They had a few big plays here and there, but, the defense got it shut down, got it locked down for the most part, had 2 picks, 2 turnovers themselves. And, when you look at them rushing yards, they, didn't have a ton and 189 yards of total offense that you're going to give up. Most days you'd probably hang your hat on that.
You could really pick this game apart since you brought up a couple of points that just kind of made me think about it here. But in terms of number of plays run in the second half, the Governors might be 2-1 in this second half.
Yeah.
And, time of possession also 2-1. Maybe given different circumstances, maybe the Governors could have eventually worn down that Tiger defense. But and that's the thing about Huron's offense. In the second half, they didn't make a lot of big plays, but they still sustained drives enough just to keep the Governor offense off the field. And who knows, if the Govs have a few more minutes on the field, maybe this game has a different outcome. But and the other thing too, I want to mention, and I kind of touched on it earlier, but I think that that pass that was thrown, which you talked about being the hardest pass to throw, Lounsbury was making that throw all night. I don't know if he got a little tentative on it, but I do think that Jeremy Hofer had just seen that play enough where he probably knew that it was coming, and I think that's what allowed him to jump the route. And maybe it was just a great job in recognition. And again, the Governors, oddly enough, maybe, and this is just me saying what if, but what if they opened the playbook up enough, but maybe they couldn't because that's just how many defensive backs they're looking at and staring down all night long.
Yeah, you got to kind of find yourself in these games like, okay, where do we need to go? Where's the big moment? Who's the guy? What's the play? Just kind of sort through things. And like you said, Huron was they were stingy defensively. They didn't allow you to do much. They didn't have a ton of size there, but they had enough speed. They made just enough plays. And, when you're in high school football, sometimes that's what it amounts to. I've kind of seen enough college football right now where it's like, who makes that play? You could talk about 199 others, but who makes that play? Are you ready and prepared for the moment? Because you don't know which one it is, so you got to be ready for all of them. And it comes down to one, but there are 199 others that you could throw into the mix that could have went differently as well. But sometimes, like I said, there's just a few small ones that you focus in on and go, dang, wish I could have had that one back.
Brian Oakland and Sean Lewis explaining a 13-7 loss, in our own words, to the Huron Tigers here tonight. Let's take a 2-minute break. We've got orders of business to take care of yet. We'll be coming back with our Hermanson Endodontics big plays of the game, and there certainly was one that stands out. We'll have that for you when we come back. It's still your Cowboy Country Stores player of the game to come yet in our Family Dental postgame. This is Pier Governor Football.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that's not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much healthy tooth as possible using state-of-the-art three-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pier.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pier and can build your home in Pier, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pier is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pier. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pier, 605-224-7378.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archive video of all games, and when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pier and Fort Pierre. Fill up your tank and your stomach. Fresh baked pastries, coffees, regular and breakfast pizzas, Champs Chicken, and more. Feed the family while on the go. Then treat yourself to a soft serve ice cream in cones and dishes. Convenience with a capital C, Cowboy Country Stores, Euclid and Harrison Avenue in Pier and in Fort Pierre.
Family Dental postgame continues. It's a 13-7 loss tonight. Just the second game of the season, though, for the Governors. Granted, they were preseason ranked number 1, but that's the hardest time to rank teams in South Dakota high school football, is in the middle of the preseason. Coming out of the break, we just heard from Cowboy Country Stores in Pier, Fort Pierre. So let us go with the players of the game in this one. First off, from Cowboy Country Stores in Pier and Fort Pierre. Certainly, we'll keep it local with the Pier Governors, but big efforts for the Huron Tigers in their win tonight. And to me, the guy that we kept saying his name all night long was Mason Juergens, the guy that caught 6 passes. He caught their touchdown, but then in the second half, he started making big plays on the defensive side of the football. Landon Hulst was outstanding, both sides of the football. Of course, Anderson Portish is a big presence, and man, they've got a gem right there, Coach, in plugging a guy in to play the quarterback position. And sometimes you just have to, it's kind of like when Pierre had Garrett Stout. Who's going to play the quarterback? Well, it's got to be your best athlete on the field, right? And that's what Hiron is doing with an otherwise inexperienced quarterback who just played lights out tonight.
Yeah, and when you think one of your better players on the field is a freshman with your 6'5", the other Porish, that'd be a nice set of brothers for any team to have and to rely on, and to kind of lean into. And like you said, and then also I'd throw a player out there with Hofer with that 45-yard interception. I mean, he just read it, went, put his foot in the dirt, went forward, picked off the ball, and no looking back. He knew exactly where he was heading with that thing. So, like I said, they had a few big players on their end.
Bottom line is that's a great team win for the Huron Tigers here tonight. And, certainly player of the game worthy, but as we'll keep it here with the Pier Governors, there's really only one way to go. You can pat your back to me on Kia Duchino, the way he ran, almost 100 yards on 21 carries tonight. He was 20 for 100, but then lost a couple. But then, obviously there's other fine performances. Still just not in. Carter Shufflebind with 11 catches tonight and running well. But man, Aiden Beam is the one who kept the Governors, kept giving them opportunities with those 2 interceptions tonight, and he cut in front of 2 long passes, and just not only the fact that he caught those balls, Coach, but just the way he set himself up to literally box out for positioning, and he just played 2 long balls perfectly tonight.
Yeah, he had 2 plays where he was absolutely in just gorgeous position on guys who are bigger than him, and so I mean that's what you have to do. But also then, I mean, if you really get into the game and the film and watch Aiden the rest of the time, is you weren't calling his name, and defensively you're not getting your name called because you're doing your job the majority of the time. They're not targeting you, they're not going after you because you're in position. But again, Huron was trying to go to some of their playmakers, and they just happened to be lined up against Aiden, and so I think he did really have it's just a super solid game, whether it was the 2 interceptions or just the fantastic coverage that he had the rest of the time.
So Aiden Beam is our player of the game. It's brought to you by Cowboy Country Stores in Pier and Fort Pierre. Despite the loss, we'll give him a T-shirt noting an outstanding game, because let's be honest, I mean, Huron played a great defensive game, but so did the Governors too.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, like I said, outside of that first possession where they had some things and even some penalties, it just some things go right for them. I thought defensively that they made the adjustment, they shut them down, they did the thing. Got a couple turnovers as well. So, I mean, applaud the defense for what they did. They did some bend, don't break. And unfortunately, they just needed to be a little more warm, a little more ready on that very first series.
Yep, just 1 offensive touchdown per team in this one tonight. 13-7, Huron wins it. Aiden Beam, player of the game for the Pier Governors tonight, sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pier and Fort Pierre. We did also hear from Hermanson Endodontics in that last break. They sponsor big plays of the game, your big plays. Certainly, there was a number of them. I'm going to, in honorable mention, the 2 long passes from Anderson Porish to Carter Porish were big. The Governors made big plays in picking up some. They had 1 4th down conversion, but unfortunately Huron's defense stands their ground and prevents a few other 4th down conversion opportunities for the Governors. But there was only one biggest play of the game, and that is the pick 6 that comes with 61 seconds left in the game. Jeremy Hofer from 45 yards took it to the house, and even though there were 3 or 4 Governors chasing him that were within 5 yards, it looked like at one point he might get caught, but Hofer was able to outrun them all, and he gets the game-sealing touchdown on the interception return. Jeremy Hofer turns in our Hermanson Endodontics big play of the game, helping Huron upset the Governors 13-7 in this one. So with that, we look ahead, and the Governors have the Watertown Arrows next week in Watertown in the brand new stadium. So we're all looking forward to going to see that facility. And of course, I'm sure the Governors would love to try to exact a little revenge on after what happened in the Dakota Dome with Watertown getting the 14-13 victory. Watertown, however, is about to go 0-2 as the Yankton Bucks are rolling up the offense again, 52-26. That one is in its final minute. As for Huron, they get a tough customer with the T area Titans in here. Actually, they go to T for their first road game next Friday. Then they're out to Sturgis, and then they host Spearfish up through week number 5. Titans win at Aberdeen Central tonight, 25-7. So the Governors, again, at Watertown, 7 o'clock. The kickoff. We're on the air, and I think Coach Lewis will be joining me again. We certainly hope with a 6:25 pregame next Friday night. We'll look at upcoming action otherwise as well. In fact, our next coverage of Governor Sports will come your way tomorrow afternoon when the Governor volleyball team, fresh off of their first win of the season last night over Douglas in straight sets, they go to Mitchell tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 2 o'clock with the pregame and a 2:30 first serve from Mitchell High School. There is soccer also coming up this week as the Governors are slated to host Harrisburg at Hollister Field. Girls first at 4 o'clock, boys at 6 o'clock. With Justin Cowart on the call on that one. Gov's soccer team do go to Spearfish on Tuesday as well. Tomorrow, the competitive cheer and dance squads will host their Pier Invitational. That starts at 11 o'clock at Riggs High Gym, so feel free to get out and support the competitive cheer and dance teams. Cross country will be at Aberdeen Central on Thursday. Golf team goes to Yankton in their next action on Friday, and the Pier tennis teams who were in Mitchell today, the girls tennis squad, they've got another triangular in Sioux Falls tomorrow. Actually, at Harrisburg. They'll play Harrisburg and Sioux Falls Christian tomorrow. And then it's a Pier event at home with Aberdeen Roncalli rather, and Rapid City Central coming to the Griffin Park tennis courts on Tuesday at, I believe, 11 o'clock. Of course, NFL football kicks off this weekend, and Chiefs and Chargers playing in Brazil tonight, but we've got Vikings football on KPLO and KMLO FM Monday night when they go to the Chicago Bears on your home for Vikings football, stations of DRG Media Group. Tonight just doesn't work out for the Pier Governors as they suffer their first loss of the season. They'll right the ship, hopefully, somewhere down the way, but nobody said it was going to be easy to get back to the Dome this year, which is obviously the expectation from the start of the season to the end. But tonight is Huron's night. They win it 13-9. I want to wish Pier travelers good travel and safety on behalf of the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, who reminds us to text or drive. There is no and. You've all got someplace to be, and buckle up every trip, every time. Our big thanks to Sean Lewis for making the trip with us this evening, and for William Wilson, who gets regular time this week instead of working at past the midnight hour last week. And of course for Caleb Brozick, who runs camera for us for the live ticket folks. You can rewatch this game. Unfortunately for Governor fans, it's like Titanic. It won't turn out any different the more you watch it, but you can rewatch it at drgnews.com and the River 92.7 page and on the DRG News smartphone app. Your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard tonight: Huron defeats the Pier Governors 13-7. We'll talk with you again from Mitchell tomorrow for Governor Volleyball here on your official voice of the Pier Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Have a good evening, everybody.
Listening to Pier Governor Sports on the official home of the Pier Governors, River 92.7 and DRG Media Group. Governor Sports was brought to you by your Pier Sports marketing sponsors: Bank West, Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, Superior Concrete, Live Ticket, Overhead Door, New Edge Advisors, Avera Orthopedics, Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, Kruger Contract, Century